the only thing that I regret after looking back is that I waited so long. But I know with all my beating heart, I'm on the right track. Wish I knew it all along. Heed the call, rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear, standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me. I will not stop until I'm there. Heed the call. Whoa, heed the call. Heed the call. I can hear your voices calling me from a distant place, but I don't know what to do. Heed the call. Do I play it safe and stay behind, knowing what I face? Please tell me what to do. Heed the call, rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear, standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me. I will not stop until I'm there. Now the only thing that I regret after looking back is that I waited so long. But I know with all my beating heart, I'm on the right track.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to blade&soul World Championship 2017. We're here for our final day of the group stage. We'll be concluding to see who gets to the next stage of quarterfinals, which will be happening starting tomorrow. My name is Joel Sophie. Along with me is Ending Life, as always, and we're here for the final day. It's been a long run getting up to this point, but finally here. We get to finally see who that 8 teams will be. 6 teams are already decided. We're going to get the next 2 teams from these bracket of 4 we have today.
Yeah, so other than the 2 teams that's been waiting up there, GG Busan Red and Sky from China, we do have 2 teams for each group, so A, B, C, D. So we have total of 8 teams. However, usually it'll be the 8 teams that, you know, are left that goes to the quarterfinals. But since we have Red, GC Busan Red, and Sky waiting up there, we have to eliminate 2 more teams from the leftover 8. So today is going to be another goodbye to 2 teams.
I mean, usually in any type of tournament you have a group stage, usually the top 2 teams from groups are automatically in the next stage, which is the quarterfinals. But fortunately, blade&soul, second place is not good enough sometimes, and you have to be the best out of the second place teams. So we're going to get 4 teams up and running today, and we're going to see which of the 4 are going to be the 2 to qualify to the next round.
Yeah, so when Joel said 4 and I said there's 2 teams per group, so the first seed of each group will not have to participate, as they have already secured the seed to the quarterfinals. So, the second seed of each group, which is Thank You 9527, Guardian, and we have IDEPS and Bad Intentions. So these 4 teams will duke it out, and 2 of the 4 will be eliminated, like I said, and the other 2 will have a seed for the quarterfinals.
As you said, ending, we started with day 1 with all these 16 teams really listed for all 4 groups. So many teams have been eliminated already, with 8. Approximately half of the teams that we've been seeing so far have been eliminated and have already gone home. So 8 teams remaining. We're going to get 4 teams already in the quarterfinals. And like we said, the 4 teams that are in the second place spot are being listed here in the mix and match format that we've seen here. These 4 teams will duke it out to see who's going to get that last 2 placement. And because going to the next round is a goal for every one of these teams for each day of the World Championships.
Yeah, and as you guys just saw on screen, we will be going back slightly for a little bit to the best out of 4, rather than staying with the best out of 7. Personally, like, we don't have a say in this, but personally, I think all these teams, starting from the first day, deserves to play the best out of 7. But rules are rules, and tournaments are tournaments. Everybody can't. We can't have the prolonged, tournaments and the matches. So yeah, we will be going back, and we'll have 3 best out of 4 games first, and then, as you see on the screen, we'll be going back to best out of 7s for the winners and the losers of the winners, and blah blah blah.
I mean, disappointment you have ending regarding the best of 4s, but we do still have best of 7 for the more important matches that will decide the qualifying teams, the 2 qualifying teams that we will have. So at least, with despite your disappointment, at least OJ has made it fair for you, at least, and to get it to a best of 7 for the more important match that really does matter.
Yeah, it does. And like, to the players, we all know, obviously, that all the matches matter. And we've actually, before we went live, we were talking about it, saying, to be honest, to the players, all the matches matter. And, for them to play best out of 4 or best out of 7. And we actually asked them in the backstage what they prefer. And obviously, they're going to say best out of 7 because, they have a chance to come back, more of a time period to strategize if they are down maybe like 3-0 or 4-0. But when it's a best out of 4, you don't have any room to make any mistakes, and if you do make one mistake, you might just get eliminated very quickly. But like you said, this is a tournament, and we do have to unfortunately decide which is a little bit more important than some of the other matches. So this is how it's going to be today. 3 best out of 4s and 2 best out of 7s.
Hey, but I would kind of want to make a little counter argument to that. I just kind of thought of what would be the meaning of best of 4 when you compare it to maybe other sports that we've seen in other areas. But just looking at the Olympics, for example, when we do have those sprints and also the running the competitions that we have, there are the 100-meter sprints and also the 300-meter runs as well. So definitely different criteria, and 100-meter requires probably less stamina than those 300-meter, where you have to control your fatigue, control your pace to get that done. But 100 meters is about just how fast you can run and how fast you can get there, and still is very considered an exciting sport altogether. So best out of 4, very similar in that format that you don't have to worry about fatigue. You don't have to worry about stamina issues. You don't have to worry about momentum carrying on to the few games. Just play your best from game 1 onwards. And you'll have enough points to win out right away.
Yeah, so I'll agree with you on that point, saying, best out of 7, like I said, you have a time, you have the chance to come back. But best out of 4, and winning in the best out of 4 is also a team skill set and the ability to win. So, it isn't the less important matches that's best out of 4. It's just different criterias, and best out of 4. A good team will win best out of 4s and best out of 7s.
That is very true.
Yep.
If you have GC Busan Blue and GC Busan Red, put them any other time of the day. Best of 4, best of 7, they'll still win more than they won't lose. So it's all about just the team's caliber, and no matter how the format is going to be, the best team will win.
Yep.
And no matter how they will have it, it's going to be about just one team winning the World Championship in the end. Has that one team remaining, but before we do get there, we're gonna have to find out which of these best 4 teams in the second place spots will be that last 2 remaining teams to have their last spot in this quarterfinals starting tomorrow. So 2 of these teams that's starting off today with, it's gonna be Thank You 9527 from Taiwan. You see Woo Yanbin, Sidong Chan, and Xia Yawei. Very familiar with these guys now. On day 3, Woo Yanbin has been the most contributing factor for this team on that summoner. As one of the very much a minority pick in Korea, but in World 2017 it's becoming a very popular trend to go with that summoner, and Woo Yanbin one of those summoners that has succeeded throughout those 3 days so far. So hope to see him do that once again and carry his team to victory.
Yeah, and like you said, Summoner being the minority pick in Korea, even though we did see one from Minjang-oh, Woo Yeon-bin's Summoner is pretty stable, like you said, and it's pretty memorable. Like, I remember his Summoner coming in, staying on the field, or coming in for interferes to do burst damages and also heal his teammates, playing a critical role as the support and the dealer. So, if you're able to play the Summoner the way he does, and obviously because he's here on this stage and still not eliminated and going up against Guardian, it just shows that, he knows how to play his character.
Definitely, we saw Woo Yeon-bin very much a success for this team. The other 2 players have to step it up a little bit, so they have to get to the later parts of the tournament and do much better. But we are going to be up against Guardian from North America, and they're the guys here, the Bears on the Assassin. He did play a little Kung Fu Master yesterday, but we'd like to see him go back to the Assassin for his more comfort pick. Saw Vape on that, very much an aggressive part of that Destroyer. Saw him there, and Akini on that Warlock, very familiar with him there as well. So altogether, Guardian has been pretty successful to getting to day 3 in the first place. So need to come over these little bit of strides once again and advance to the next round, but they have to do it over this Taiwanese side of Thank You 9527.
And for the first set, we see on screen we'll have a Destroyer versus Warlock match, and we're starting to see a lot of these matchups, and usually it's the Warlock that has the advantage, but nowadays in Worlds it's been going back and forth. Some Destroyers are actually putting up a fight against Warlocks and Force Masters, who usually have an easier time, but now it's different because all different regions have different skill sets and different ways and different styles of playing.
Definitely good mention there, Ending, is that we usually like to predict matchups just depending on the relative terms of how different classes react. We're going to actually see Sidong Chan versus Akini. We're going to see our prediction will be correct with the Warlock having an advantage. We're going to find out in game 1 between Thank You and Guardian. Stay on. There we go, game 1 between Thank You 9527, Guardian will start us off for day 3.
Ooh, and the Fury build. I always love seeing this Fury build because it hasn't worked out once yet in this world.
Still a 0% win rate for the Fury Destroyer. When will they learn?
Ooh. And he is getting punished for it.
Oh, he killed the Familiar though.
Oh, he did kill the Familiar, but he took so much damage for it, and the Fury was procced for that Familiar, and that Gust is used as well.
I think he'll take that trade any time of the day. Having the Familiar gone relieves a lot of pressure off of his shoulders, and there he goes. He's going to go for the initiate now. Go for the smash onto the wedge.
Yep, Akini saving that escape, and no more Gust. Okay, so he does survive for the time being.
Just back roll out of there, but another stun will conclude in a victory once again for Akini, and another loss for Fury Destroyer.
Yep, and
just don't play it. That's what I want to tell them.
Don't be so mean.
I mean, they
That's my role.
About 6-7 attempts now we saw in World 17. I'm tired of it. I mean, there's no win rates coming from the Fury Destroyer. Why the Destroyer still play it, I don't know. I mean, they've had the Fury Destroyer not only against the other one class, but they had it against multiple different classes, and it never worked out. So these guys, this is always the typical ending to the story. We even have one guy having to proc the Fury 3 times and still lost.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you it doesn't work.
Yeah, I remember that. And like I remember mentioning that, you know, in the Korea scene, I used to mention that if the Fury is able to be proc twice, that Destroyer is going to win, and it actually has happened in the past. But in this world, everything is crumbling, and everything I say is becoming untrue. So, like Joel said, guys, Fury Destroyer in Worlds, 0% win rate. Think about it before you choose the Fury build.
And this is why the statistics are so important.
Yeah.
I mean, try it again in 2018, just don't bring it on 2017, please.
All right, well, we are getting ready for set 2 of the best out of 4. So every single match is super important, and we have Woo Yan-bin on the Summoner like we talked about, and we have Vape on the Destroyer.
Very good. Up seeing Woo Yan-bin once again. This is a guy I'm very interested in. And the fact that I want to see him perform so well on the Summoner, something we don't see that much in Korea. So Woo Yan-bin, one of the few summoners who have succeeded in the 2017 World Championships, kind of going to continue his success and move that over this match on day 3. Ever so important match, as you mentioned. Each match counts very, very highly. And we're going to carry these 1 points over and over to match 4 eventually. Let's see who's going to get that first 3 points. Woo Yan-bin will be in the attempt to do that again.
Yeah, and we've seen previously where Vape has lost 2 singles in a row in the best out of 7s, but we'll see if he's able to clean this his plate and come back for a win. Let's get this second match underway. Let's get it on.
Now I'm thinking about it ending. Might be due to the Fury build having a 0% success rate. We've seen Destroyers, just in general, when they go into singles, not having too much success in terms of win rates.
And we see Vape not on the Fury build. Maybe he heard us.
That's a lot of damage already to the Summoner, and Woo Yan-bin seems pretty surprised. I mean, he now uses all the escapes that he has, but now he's in very much trouble.
If he gets one
and
he's done.
That's done, and 100-0.
Clean win by Vape.
I mean, the moment I talk about Destroyer having a low win rate in singles, Vape doesn't like what I said, and just literally wants to prove me wrong. And he did a very good job of that, and gets a clean win, 100-0, without taking any damage from the Summoner, and he takes out, thank you, Woo Yan-bin, 2-0 now for the Guardian side.
Yeah, well, now the Taiwan team, thank you, has to get their stuff together to focus on this very important match that I always like to mention, the third match. And, you know, it is important in the best out of 7s, but for the best out of 4s, this is the most important because it is worth 2 points. So even if you lose 2 singles, this one victory in tag will bring you and give you that 2 point that you lack. And that is why it's the most important.
And we're going to go to see whether Guardian can just finish us off with this game 3 in this best of 4. And like we said, every match counts a lot more highly. And oh God, when you're on the thank you side, being down 2 points, you know that you have to win this game 3 to get it back to even at 2-2. But otherwise, Guardian is very happy with the situation and really wants to just clean this up now, just get it over with. But tag match will be ever so important for both of these teams.
Yeah, exactly. And be aware, singles and tag, just because Guardian won 2 singles in a row does not mean, you know, they are going to win the tag. Tag is, you know, all about teamwork and coordination. So, you know, you never know. Thank you might be more prepared for tag.
No, well, I mean, we've seen instances where Woo Yan-bin did a lot of heavy carrying for his team in tags, but otherwise we haven't seen too much of Sunong Chan and also Shy Away on that Blade Master. We haven't seen them really step up to the plate and do a little bit of a heavy lifting for their teams. Thank you, but They need to be more like Lian Bin and really take that responsibility to carry them for the team. So that's the only way they're going to win out this one. So we're going to see what happens.
Yep, it seems like Woo Bin is, kind of stretching out from that loss. I'm pretty sure he was surprised because as we were watching, I was surprised that, it was so one-sided. And like Joe mentioned, it was 100-0. Let's see what this team prepared for this tag match. Let's get it on.
Here we are for what could be the last match between Thank You 9527 and Guardian from North America. We have Sudong Shan, Destroyer, for the Taiwanese side. They lose out in game 1 singles of the series. So,
yep. And starting it off, the Destroyer is out of Gust right off the bat.
And remember, he did lose out to this man, Akini, on that Warlock. So,
yeah.
Distortion, putting in, trying to start that damage on the Sudong Shan.
The Destroyer's out of persistence as well now. The next CC, there's going to be another defensive interfere.
So going aggressive.
Oh,
this
he's getting chased.
Yeah, he might get paid for
this.
this.
There we go with the defensive interfere.
He went a little bit too aggressively without any escapes available. He was probably just relying on his teammate, but actually did a lot of damage from that interfere. Wu Yanbin coming from that summoner. Now he does tag out to shy away from that Blade Master. Dealing more damage onto Akini now. Akini now feels the pressure and does go out, but that Destroyer interfere, putting him into the wall bang, into the Typhoon. So much damage.
Yeah, now the trade, it's been back and forth, but now on the Guardian side has taken more damage.
Definitely Yahweh really knows what's up here. He's made his first appearance in this series. Doing very good for this team as soon as he comes in. Wu Yanbin comes in once again to give his teammate a little bit of heal. Using a lot of interferes already. Wu Yanbin first for that offensive interfere, which he did a good job of putting out the damage onto Akini, but second time around he just went in for the heal, but might need to be a little bit more careful with the chances that he provides himself.
Yeah, well, keeping up that heals up in the early game is very important, but in the late game, or if it goes down to the TKO, it is going to backfire. So, using that early interference. Oh, Wu Yanbin again!
Wu Yanbin, he needs to tag us somehow. There we go. He finds the time to do it. The Bears on the Assassin, finding a lot of pressure to really put some threat onto that guy, and Wu Yanbin felt the pressure and had to tag out immediately. Thank goodness he did.
Yeah, he did. As I was saying, that Thank You was having a stable health bar that just backfired, and Wu Yanbin decided to take 80% damage out of nowhere.
Definitely, it was all due to the Bears really creeping in and making that damage count. He puts on the Lotus, for that escape. That will come later on, but the Bears, I mean, been really having a lot of questions for this guy. I mean, he's supposed to be one of the greater players of this Guardian team, but especially in day 1, he hasn't showed to the full potential of what we are used to back when we saw him in the North American regionals. But bringing it back now, day 3 starting up, so he's going to do a little bit better this time around.
Right, there we go, playing it aggressive. Destroyer mirror match.
Wade was going so aggressive. That Destroyer reminds me of a Japanese Destroyer who went in Fury build without the Fury build, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. They're both not on the Fury build. It actually makes more sense to go to Fury build during tag because you can tag out and you can have help.
Definitely.
But this time around, these Destroyers, I don't know, maybe they
learned a lesson.
Yeah, they just started to not like the Fury build anymore.
I would hate the Fury build if I was a Destroyer if it doesn't give you any wins. So
yeah, it hasn't given any Destroyer any wins.
Definitely. So I think maybe it's a little bit of pride of all Destroyers to get that one win when anybody else couldn't.
Well, now we have the 5-second countdown for the Taiwanese side's Destroyer. Let's see what Vape will do.
Shan, pretty close distance. He's going to go for the chase.
Yes, offensive.
Very well timed on that chase. Yahweh gets caught off immediately. Even brings that offensive interfere to add to that damage, but only having to use the second win. But it's going to be Yahweh putting so much damage onto Vape. He does escape that with his tag, but it's going to be the Bears back out into the field. But Yahweh I mean, this is a guy we haven't seen perform this well throughout the first 2 days. He's really stepping it up today.
Yeah, he tried to go for that Flocka Blade knockback chase, but, you know, unfortunately it didn't go as he planned, and the tag out happened.
Oh, another stun by Xiao Yaowei, forcing another defensive interfere from Vape. Very, very well done.
Yeah, well, so far, Yaowei has been playing pretty well, forcing out Guardian's interferes, and even though, you know, Woo Bin is out of interferes, they will get it back soon.
I guess the body swap onto the stun here. Gonna force a reaction 2v2 onto both sides. Really, the Warlock trying to deal with the damage now. Akini putting a lot of damage onto Yaowei. Yaowei has to tag out. He does have one more tag point available. This is a very dangerous situation. I don't think he shouldn't stay for very long, and here may definitely. And Woo Bin is back onto the field. Healed so much right when he comes onto the field.
Yeah, and Yaowei, the only member with 2 interferes on Thank You side, is very low on health.
Let's be careful if he does choose to come in for the interfere, knowing his health bar is very, very low.
Well, they have to capitalize on it, assuming, you know, maybe luring that interfere in and try to focus down Yaowei instead of the player that is on the field.
Now, Woo Bin on the summer hasn't shown much throughout this series. I mean, he's shown a lot more in the first 2 days, but it's important for him to step up once again and do well. But also in the area, but
the interfere came in from Yaowei.
Yaowei had to come in though. Would have been Woo Bin taking so much free damage from Aikini if he didn't come in. So very good.
Oh, Vape is in with such little health.
So maybe not the smartest choice, but Vape is gonna take the risk. See what that turns out to be. Sudong Chan comes in.
Pulls him into the Amber Stomp.
Destroyer mirror match once again. Pulls him in this time. Sudong Chan gets the pull in. Vape, will he be able to survive? He does have one tag point. If he chooses to use, he's out of disgust. So tab escape gone. Vape has to be a little more careful going forward with this one.
Yeah, Vape is definitely low on health and out of gust. So the next CC, he might want to use his last tag point. There we go, persistence.
Now he's forced out an offensive interfere from Yaowei, but that's gonna be enough to scare him away for using that last tag point.
All right, now we have 1v1 for the next 50 seconds because everybody is out of interfere points on both sides.
And the Bears does have one tag point if he chooses to go how. Along with Sudong Chan, he also has one tag point, but just right now that 35 seconds will be the crucial point where everybody gets their interferes back. Their chances to go for it, but after getting knocked down, Sudong Chan uses that tab escape to get out of it in case any danger does occur. Without the defensive interfere options from his teammates, he has to be extra careful for not really saving that tab escape for no reasons.
Yeah, and the Bear decided to proc into the blue buff instead of bringing out the Lotus of Escape, so he is only with stealth, and that is used right now.
Okay, no escape for the Bears right now. He can tag out if he senses a little bit of danger, but the Sudong Chan's Destroyer has been a little passive in his play, unlike Vape's.
Oh, he did get
play.
chased. The back roll. Chase did not happen.
Vape. Talking about Vape on the Destroyer is very different to the style of Sudong Chan. Just gonna be force tagged out right away. The chase will.
It happened. He landed the stun.
He landed the stun, but doesn't force out the tab escape from Woo Bin though.
Yeah. That was some mind games going on right there for a very short time.
Probably the Bears expected tab escape right away and didn't even go for that combo, but maybe he should have. But this time he forces out.
There we go.
Tab escape now. We're still with that blue buff. We're gonna go for a lot of damage there.
Put that blue flower down. He switched the color. It used to be purple.
That's what happens with the blue buff build in. You see Aikini putting out the damage now. He does have one interfere. Woo Bin can come from Yaowei, but he's also low on HP bar, so be careful. He's selective of how he comes in. There he goes up. Another shackle into the area. That's going to force him to use a retreat. Get out of there. Distortion does come with the heal coming from the summoner, but will it be enough?
The defensive interference comes in.
Could not finish him off with Yaowei distracting him, but Woo Bin no tag points, so he has to survive, but this is looking very bad, and that's going to be enough poke damage to finish him off, and Sudong Chan does come back out onto the field now. Suddenly, we thought that Thank You was doing good for the early parts of this game, but with that one death, suddenly it just seems like Thank You is on the behind with Guardian having the dominating
now
forces.
Akini, no interferes, no escapes, and no tag point is kind of in the danger because for the next 20 seconds, no escape.
This is definitely an opportunity for Thank You to make it positive. 18 seconds to do it, but he does bring out the familiar to make that a little bit difficult, but Sudong-shan, no interfere points from his teammates, so he's gonna have to do it all alone. So that's what makes it extra tough.
There we
As
go with the wall bang, with the
He's gonna go in.
typhoon.
4 seconds left on second win, so can he finish him off before that? It doesn't seem like it. Destroyer is not gonna put out that much damage in a matter of seconds. So as we expected, it didn't happen that time around. Finally uses the 1 minute mark, which forced out another interfere point.
Yeah, and 40 seconds left. Which side? I don't
Really,
know, because I didn't know tag point. 6 seconds left.
He has to finish him off before that force tag. He will be in the safe zone for 1 more second. Will he be able to finish? And he does just finish him off. And Aikini is down, and it's back down to Vape, also on very low health without the tag point. So he has to survive for the next 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds left, and this is basically it for Guardian because they have no more interferes. Whereas Thank You still has that 1 interfere point. Dongshan might come in for that offensive interfere at the end to maybe just surprise Vape and finish him off.
There you go.
There
just
we
getting
go.
with the second man kill. Yahweh goes for damage, but it's not going anything to it. The iron plating really just negating any kind of damage. Puts in a little tickle. It doesn't really matter towards the damage shot in there. We're going to see who gets the win here. It will be the Guardian. Really, that last effort put in by Vape to get that iron plating down at the last few seconds was good enough.
Yeah.
To really get them ahead. Stay ahead in the damage shot, and now Guardian 4-0. They will move on the next round.
Yeah, and just remember, Thank You is not eliminated
yet.
Yes, this is a double elimination within these 4 teams. So now, Thank You will wait to see who loses between IDEPS versus Bad Intentions, and they will be facing either IDEPS and Bad Intentions, and that match will be the elimination match.
Definitely, we're going to be seeing Guardian very happy with their result, 4-0 against a very alright. Thank you 9527 from Taiwan, who have been playing pretty well throughout those first 2 days, and now they're up to day 3. Do face defeat. But like you say, Ending, we do have one more opportunity. If they do lose out in the losers match once again, they will be officially eliminated as the first team to go out in day 3.
Yeah, Aikini is showing some great offensive interferes, pulling out that damage when he's interfering in, and you know, when his teammates create the opportunity. I am very happy to see that he doesn't let that slip by, and he is able to capitalize on all those small opportunities that they, you know, his teammates create for him.
I mean, it seems like near the end right here, the next 5 seconds, we saw a Vape go with the iron plating with the interfere, making that completely useless. So, I mean, maybe they should have thought that through. Thank You on Thank You's side, knowing that the iron plating, if that was available, they came in a little bit earlier to at least force that out before they can do a little bit more damage. But everything was wasted at the end.
Yeah, and at the end, the Thank You Destroyer came in with the Fury build. He came in, proc the Fury, and went for it. And like you said, like we saw, the iron plating.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Literally invincibility for that few seconds. You have those stone walls around you, and there we got the winners from that match. And we're going to be back in the second match right after this break.
Now the only thing that I regret after looking back is that I waited so long. call. I can hear your voices calling me from a distant place, but I don't know what to do. Heed the call. Do I play it safe and stay behind, knowing what I face? Please tell me what to do. Heed the call. Rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear, standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me. I will not stop until I'm there. Now the only thing that I regret after looking back is that I waited so long. But I know with all my beating heart, I'm on the right track. Wish I knew it all along. Heed the call. Rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear.
Welcome back, everyone, to 2017 Blade and Soul World Championships. We're on day 3, and we finally got through the first match. We'll be deciding during this process to see who's going to make it up to the quarterfinal. We're going to have 2 teams out of the 4 that are playing today, but Guardian from North America have just earned their first win, a very clean 4-0 sweep against the Taiwanese team. Thank you, 9527. So we're going to go on to the second match to see the rest of the 2 teams that are going to be eligible to the final 2 spots for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so like Joel said, we have IDEPS from Korea, Bad Intentions from EU, duking it out. These 2 teams have had their ups and downs, but I just want to mention that IDEPS actually knocked out Hurricane at the end. Like, they're not the only team that beat or knocked down Hurricane. It's just that at the end, the most important match where either Hurricane would make it up or IDEPS will make it up, IDEPS was the victor and is now here. And if IDEPS by any chance beats Bad Intentions and knocks down another Western team, that would be 2 in a row by 1 team.
And IDEPS will be the Western killer
Yeah.
from the Korean side. Definitely, we haven't seen GC Busan Blue showing that much mercy towards the Western side as IDEPS did. But IDEPS are really looking to just advance to further rounds because they, by themselves, think they deserve the very much the later rounds of World 2017, depending on really how they did coming up from the 2017. So first round, we want to talk about IDEPS a little bit before we do move on, though, is that the early parts of 2017, they have been disappointing for the fact that they always had that same innate talent within those three players we know, but the condition control and the form management, the way they really handle themselves in preparation for the matches haven't been very successful. So not much success has been found within the IDEF side throughout the early parts of 2017, but by the end of 2017, most notably going to the Korea finals and going to the wildcards as well, they've seen a lot more success, and now they're here over coup d'etat in this World Championship. Had to knock out Shingen Kim for not being in Worlds for the first time ever. So here they are, IDEFs.
Yep, on the screen we have IDEFs, and you know they are probably one of the teams from Korea that has the most noticeable ups and downs. And you know, I just want to say, regardless of you losing when you're on your bad day, it doesn't matter, because that is also your ability as a team and as a player to have your good day all the time. Because just because you lose and you say, oh, I was on a bad day, that is not an excuse. A loss is a loss, a win is a win. So regardless of the outcome, IDEFs is going to try their hardest. Same thing goes for Bad Intentions, but right now we have IDEFs on screen, and Jung Ho-yoon, like we talked about yesterday, he has that Warlock. And he was actually beaten by the Russian Warlock yesterday. And we were kind of joking around saying, maybe Jung Ho-yoon would pull out the Warlock sometime, but unlikely.
I mean, IDEFs is one of those Korean teams that really is just a one-class team with Duggan Ken. He has 3 class registered, but he was originally just a KFM before he was forced to play the Blade Dancer by his teammates, and even that Warlock as a utility tool if that situation was needed. But as you mentioned, the Force Master Jung Ho-yoon, he has been staple on that pick ever since the beginning, and same with Sang Kim. He's one of the few players that only has 1 class register, and that is the assassin for him. He doesn't play anything else, and we are up against this team now. That intention has been impressive, especially in the later rounds of the World 2017 so far. And the first few matches we saw Bad Intentions, maybe they could have had the jitters coming into this World 2017 in a new environment. Could have been nervous because they didn't play the same way, but by the end of day 1, when they popped off, especially with Tenna just putting that explosive damage near the end, doing that again in end of day 2 really was a surprise for us that they can really bring that same performance they showed in the European qualifiers, bring it over to World Championship 2017. So they did that. So now their next match is against a much stronger side with IDEFs. As long as they are on a good day, like your preconditions really mentioned, ending, it's all about them being ready to face IDEFs on any day.
Yeah, and Bad Intentions, they also had their ups and downs, and for the first match, we will have Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master, and we have Tenna on the Warlock.
It's gonna get very spicy. The very first match between IDEFs and Bad Intentions, these guys are the most dependent player on each of their respective teams to do the most heavy lifting for their team, and Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master has barely ever disappointed with his performance on that, even in the singles and also the tag as well. Tenna, you guys know it all. If you've been watching the European qualifier, he's the one that literally just pulled his teammates right over to the World Championships, and now his other teammates are doing much better, but this guy is going to be the dependent force on the side of Bad Intentions.
Don't forget about Luki's play yesterday.
Yesterday was insane.
He was the carry yesterday, even though Tenna did knock out the Warlock the first 50 seconds. But everybody in all these IDEFs and Bad Intentions, all 6 players are trying to pull their weight.
But we're going to go on to game 1. Which team leader for the side of IDEFs and Bad Intentions is going to get the first win? Let's get to the game. Stay on. Here we go, game 1 between IDEFs from Korea versus Bad Intentions from Europe. Now, Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master, he has had very successful matchups depending on the different class of his opponents, but
ooh, he is starting with that impact.
And the Meteor is going to be blocked a little bit by the paper. Trying to go for the counterattack, Tenna. Gets a little bit of damage done. Takes barely any damage from that Meteor altogether.
He literally took no damage. And Jung Yoon, on the other hand, actually took the damage when he was the one attacking.
Here we
And
go,
he
puts
is
him into
in the
the
air
first
now.
Aerial into the shackle. There's no way for him to escape. He does retreat out of there.
Okay.
Tries to go back, but Tenna's very smart to not attack him in that state.
And Thrall seems mad. He keeps throwing at him.
Doesn't care about healing back his opponent. He just wants to go at his opponent all the time. That's Thrall right there.
Yeah, with the time distortion proc. Now Jung Yoon is probably thinking in his head, now it's time to make his move because the time distortion is out and the familiar is gone. There we go with the Phantom Grip.
Okay, so he was in the shackles, but
Leech.
Jung Yoon did tap escape out of there, so it's a chance for Tenna to go for a very aggressive play.
With the knock up.
It might be Tenna getting the damage on his opposite end. He does retreat
But the
out of
Tether
there.
Blade lands.
Tether Blade does land, and might be a chance for Jung Yoon, but he does use the Frost Burst.
All right, he is buying some time. They're both going to get their escape back very soon.
There you go, and put some paper still in front of him. Familiar. Pretty good job for Tenna. Now just needs to get him in the air. They both do have their second wins back, so.
Oh, Tenna's making his offensive move right now.
Wow.
Jung Yoon is actually taking a lot of damage.
Okay,
but
the wallbang. It might be beginning here. Tenna has to get out of there somehow.
pulls him out.
Oh, he used a second win. Would this be enough to finish him off? The meteor is enough damage to finish him off. And Jung Yoon getting the game 1 victory over the almighty Tenna. It's going to be a 1-0 victory currently for IDEBS. So,
Yeah.
in this best of 4, very, very important win right there.
Yeah, when you show, especially a player like Jung-ho, who is very calculative and remembers to the second when you use your escapes and when you use your void walk, you know, if you give him the slightest chance, he's not going to let that go and he's going to capitalize on it.
It just seemed like Tenna really knew what he was doing for the early parts of the game, but all that damage came through near the end. And like you said, Jung Yoon, he knew when to go for it all, and the lack of escapes and the lack of the body swaps with that familiar, he knew that wasn't an option for Tenna, and Jung Yoon went in all in to go for all the damage that he needed to finish him off.
Yeah, like Joel said, to the mid game, to the mid-late game, they were going back and forth, trading escapes, trading damage, but actually Tenna was doing most of the damage until the late game where, you know, Jung Yoon just waited for that time when both the escapes from Tenna was out and he capitalized on it and was able to finish him off.
This
and
is the matchup I want to see.
this.
Ryuki versus Sang-won Kim on those assassins. They only play those classes, and assassin is their life and death for these guys. Sang-won Kim, we always know what the storyline is behind this guy. Is he on a good day or a bad day? We'll be finding out in game 2, but Ryuki, he has been consistent so far, with Luki and Tenna having their on and offs from here and there, but Ryuki has probably been the most consistent performer for the side of Bad Intentions in this World Championship. So, can he pull this off once again? And will his consistency be enough to beat out Sang-won Kim, depending on what day it is for him?
Yep, the EU assassin versus the Korean assassin, and they are both, we've noticed and we've seen that they're both very formidable assassins, and the music has changed. Ready for the assassin mirror match. Let's get it on.
Go for game 2, a match that we anticipated since the beginning of World 2017. We do get a Korean assassin versus a European assassin. See what the difference is. Here we go. Sang-won Kim takes the first strike though. Actually, gonna be.
They're trading off their stealth.
It was looking like Sang-won Kim got onto the stun. It was actually Yuki using that first escape early.
But Sang-won Kim is playing on the offensive right now. The back row chase actually lands.
Wow, really?
Wow.
Other than taking off the stun, taking off the escape away from Sang-won Kim, Ryuki has really done no damage over to his opponent.
So in the beginning, like the first moves they were making, they did trade off the stealth, and that was good. But after that, it is backfiring on Ryuki right now.
Puts him onto the webbing. What he's going to do with this, we're going to find out. Puts him onto the stun. Still saves that tab escape.
There we go.
Use the loaded escape to get out of there, so another tab escape is still available for Sang-won Kim. That's stealth. Still being of availability.
Yep, now Ryuki has both escapes. Even though he is a little low on health, he has that. He has Sangwook on the aerial.
Okay, well,
There we go.
Countdown, and that's gonna be enough damage,
Sangwook!
almost to finish him off. Yusuf has to use every escape to get out of there. Sangwook Kim suddenly in a lot of danger without that escape. Like you say, Ryuki has all the escapes in the world. That will be enough to close shave and the bombard to finish him off. And there we go. Bad Intentions picking up another win against the Korean side. It's back to 1-1.
Yeah, it is 1-1. They are tying it up, and Ryuki seems very happy.
Definitely.
And that was a great match, going back and forth. Early on, trading off that stealth, and then Sangwook Kim having the advantage, putting around 60 to 70 damage on Ryuki first.
Yeah, definitely.
And it seemed like Ryuki was in the pinch, but he was able to come back and just finish off Sangwook Kim.
Ryuki,
look at this,
staying strong until the end. He literally did no damage while taking that 70% damage, as you mentioned. Anything, like in the end, so much crucial strike. Good enough to finish him off.
This was definitely pride on the line as well.
Definitely,
as the single one-trick assassin players, both from Europe and Korea. And now we will be moving on to our last match because it is 1-1, and this tag match will conclude the winner and decide the loser of this matchup.
And currently it's 1v1 at the scoreline, but IDFs and Bad Intentions really need those 3 points to finish out the series, and these 2 points for either team will be good enough to end out the series without that game 4 being necessary. We'll have 3 sides very familiar with their classes. They're not going to change it up, and Kang, Jung Yoon, Sangwook Kim, very familiar with those Blade Dancer that has been introduced for Doug and Kang recently, but other than that, it's been that same class since the beginning of their careers. Same for Bad Intentions as well. Much shorter career for these guys, having to start the Blade and Soul competitively much later than the Koreans have. Whether they will be good enough to win out the game 3, you're gonna have to find out.
Yeah, it is amazing. Like you just mentioned, Koreans has started Blade and Soul way earlier than any other region, and we have Bad Intention for the first time in Worlds, and they are all the way up here competing against the top regions, not only Korea but China and Japan, who has also started a little bit earlier than the Western teams, and they are up here still competing strong and hard.
And Bad Intentions had to beat so many talented teams to get to this stage, from teams from China and to teams from many other talented regions they had to beat to get all the way up here. So once again, they're trying to do it against the strongest region of Korea, and with IDEF being their opponent, they're going to look to get a win. And to get a win in this series, let's see if they can do that. Let's get it on. I keep thinking about this ending, but it's the thing about when we hear the phrase Korea dominating an esports title, depending on no matter what it is, it has taken a few years for Korea to get used to something after the introduction, where the Western teams have gotten it earlier. So Korea is getting used to it only after a few years later, though. The thing about these European teams and the NA teams equally, it's their first year of introduction compared to about 4 or 5 years that Koreans had it right before them. So very much of an accomplishment already for these teams to make it this far, to go toe-to-toe with a team like IDEFs.
Yeah, and this just shows how good they are at the game. Even, like you just said, they are introduced to the game a little bit later. Well, not a little bit, a lot
Way later,
A lot later, and they are still competing, and that just shows the skill level of EU and how scarier they will be next year.
Oh, do I feel something? Sangwook Kim, is he on his bad day? He's already having to use his stealth from the threat coming in from Tena, but
don't say Sangwook Kim's on the bad day. Tena's on his good day.
I don't know.
Sangwook Kim is on his normal day, and Tena's on his super good day. We could say it like that.
I really want to see Sangwook Kim be consistent in every competition that he is involved in, but just hasn't seemed to be that case, to be honest. So it's all about Sangwook Kim, whether he can step it up. He's trying to put in the damage onto Tena now.
Sanctum is put down. He just ice mines him. Probably going to wait out until the Sanctum is gone. Yep, he's just waiting it out. There we go. Tena still has his escape, so it's okay for now.
It's pretty even on both sides. Both sides can go pretty evenly, but just to put the paper up instead of going for that tab escape there.
And if you
Tenna.
notice, there was no interference coming in at all, and there's 1 second left until the
Oh,
force tag.
very
He
close
closes
distance.
in.
Oh, he's gonna go for the chase here. What?
Okay.
Tag?
Ryuki comes in and tags out right away to
Why?
Luki. I don't know.
Any
well,
reason for that, you think?
They may have fat fingered it, but maybe this was a strategy that they wanted to go
man.
for.
If it was a mistake by any chance, this would have been a huge mistake because wasting 1 tag point of the 2 that you have for each player is very much of a valuable property that you're really throwing away.
Yeah, that tag point is very crucial.
I mean, it was a free tag and we all knew it was coming, but
Yeah.
as soon as he came in, Ryuki came in with using the tag point to bring Luki in.
Yeah. It is a strategy to confuse IDEPs.
I mean,
But truly, it was fat fingered.
we're kind of assuming that was the case.
Because there
but
was no reason
there
for
was no
him
reason.
to
That's
tag
the
in and
problem.
tag out. Like, but you know, there we go. Tenna making his move against Jung Yoon. He wants to get that revenge.
Now Jong Yoon takes a little bit of damage from Sao Kim's interfere there. Frost Burst. He used a second wind to get out of there. Very uncommon to see second wind being used. It's a Frost Burst.
All right, Jung Yoon negating that leech.
Okay, Tenna.
Buying some time. Tenna actually is very, well, not very low, but around 45% health. And, you know, one bad combo or offensive interfere, it might force him to use another tag.
Duggan Kang seeing the dangers coming from that Warlock, has to go in with that defensive interfere. First interfere of the game.
Yep, and Sao Kim is out again, doing some damage to Tenna once again.
Oh, but this is, I don't know, if that mistake alone in the early game can affect this entire game, Bad Intentions will be hitting themselves on the head, because it's not the way you want to go out on this one.
Yeah.
And this is the last match will decide the series.
Yeah, but it seems like they are both items and Bad Intentions are managing their interfere and tag points very well right now. Even considering Ryuki using that, you know, tag point very fast, that split moment. I don't know why he used it once again, but you know, even considering that waste, look at all the points on the board still.
Still very even. Just that one extra tag point is available towards Sound Kim and Duggan Kang compared to his other 2 counterparts. And it's just all about Sound Kim now on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, he did pretty well for what he was supposed to do, but it's all about Luki coming in. After that force tag coming in from Ryuki, and Luki didn't even do much before he tagged out once again using the tag point to bring Tenna back on, but
yeah. Ryuki has come back out after that short showing with that super fast tag. Now on the field, 1 minute left until the force tag, and I'm pretty sure Ryuki wants to endure until that force tag happens because he has 1 tag left, and he basically let go of one of the 2 tag points that he had. So he's gonna try to buy time and try to probably chase the force tag that's going to happen in 2
he used
seconds.
the Lotus of Flower before he does get force tagged out. He doesn't use it. Okay. Doesn't get chased though whatsoever.
Duggan Kang actually comes in and goes offensive. Defensive interfere comes in from Bad
Blade
Intentions.
Master putting in with the damage from the interfere. Forcing out the Jungle Yoon interfere to freeze his teammate from any danger. Goes for it again. Duggan Kang now he's gonna get him out with an aerial.
Yeah.
Oh, but Tenna is gonna go for the damage now. Duggan Kang taking a little bit of that.
Yeah, and Duggan Kang heals up a little bit. Tenna is back, and Ryuki
Draw.
is going to be able to wait for that force tag and save his 1 last tag point.
Very good point, and that tab escape won't be of any waste if you can save yourself that last tag point, which he does, and Tenna comes back onto the field. But I mean, like you said, considering the mistake, they're going pretty even, which is good for Bad Intentions.
Yeah.
But whether that will have an actual effect in the final result, it really cost them.
Gotta remember that overall we have the Force Master and the Blade Dancer more heals compared to Bad Intentions.
True.
So if this does go down to the TKO and the health bars stay pretty similar, the win will go to Bad Intentions.
Definitely, we can predict that. But as we speak about that, gonna go right onto the latter parts of this match, and we're down to the 20-minute and 30-second mark. Tenna has to be a little more careful. He does tag out just in case something bad happens, but the interfere coming in right away as soon as Ryuki is tagged in. Luki for Antivir, trying to poke some damage on Soundkin, but just goes casually on the stealth and really does force no pressure.
Oh, offensive interference comes in.
This is exactly what they're looking for, especially with Ryuki and Tenna on that double combo into the offensive effort. What they're looking for, but Ryuki taking the damage from Soundkin now. Bombard, spamming all over.
Yep, and Ryuki tags out.
Good chase right away from Soundkin. As soon as Luki comes in, listen to Bombard. Soundkin now is just trying to go on.
Offensive interferer has come in, and the reactionary 2v2.
This is a dangerous situation. You don't want to be there.
Luki is almost out. He still does have his escape.
You should just really tag out. I don't think the tab escape will be enough in case Soundkin goes for that offensive interfere combo with Jonghyun once again. They can deal out so much damage in an instant, and that tab escape won't save you.
Yeah, but you know he's the only one with tag, and everybody has very low health.
Lightning draw coming from Doug and Kang now. Now this might be the signal for Luki. Very low on health. Now
They're all very low on health, so if Luki tags out, you know, one of the two of his teammates may die also, so he's going to want to last as long as possible and wait for his teammates' help.
And remember, Luki was that hero for Bad Intentions in the last game of day 2, which
comes in,
literally saved his team from victory. But 2v2, reactionary coming in, significant damage. Soundkin taking a lot of damage from Tenna, all for that interfere, so not the interfere that he was looking for. Tenna just backfires at him. So much damage.
All the interfere points are even, but everybody on items has a tag point.
Okay, now Jonghyun taking a little bit of damage from Doug and Kang also. As soon as he comes from the interfere, he was trying to help out Jonghyun, but takes the damage with him. So Tenna just doing explosive amount of damage. Like you said, 1 minute 30 seconds to go. If it does go to damage chart, we can predict that Bad Intentions will win out this one.
Yeah, Soundkin comes in and interferes.
Oh, dangerous situation. No tag point for Tenna, so he has to be careful. He's the constant damage dealer that really is needed for the side of Bad Intentions. He cannot go out as the first man out.
Yep, Doug and Kang is out. He is comfortably out there with, you know, around 70% health and a tag point, whereas Tenna does not.
See, Jonghyun has that one tag point available, which one more will be granted to everyone in this 1 minute mark. But they're just looking for one opportunity, especially with Jonghyun's damage potential. They're going to go for Tenna to finish him off in one effort.
Yeah, Doug and Kang is actually just buying time for the Sanctum to go away and that Thrall at the same time. 40 seconds left.
Now
they're going to try to go for that double or the triple kill.
Definitely, and this is what they're exactly going for. They're trying to get use Doug and Kang to get him into the air. That will give free damage potential over to Jonghyun from that interfere.
He's definitely waiting for that force tag.
We're definitely seeing that, and we've seen that so many times throughout yesterday's matches from IDEF.
There we go with the chase!
It's exactly what we were looking for, and Blade Master is going to really interrupt that play from coming through. That's going to be the last interfere coming in from Luki. So, other than Tenna, they have no defensive efforts to go for. I don't know what really they're waiting for here. Now they should go for the all-aggressive play. Jonghyun frees himself, but other than that, this might be a win for Bad Intentions just because of the damage chart.
We'll never know, and it does go down to the TKO, and this is very surprising.
I don't know if IS made the correct choice to not go on the aggression there. We'll see.
Drum roll.
Oh, it's got to be IDEF!
IDEF.
10,000 difference.
Yeah.
Exact.
Yeah, that is very small. We've seen lowest to 25 to 30,000 difference, and 10,000 is probably the least damage difference ever.
I mean, can you humanly calculate that much damage to know that you don't have to go aggressive for the last 5 seconds? This is exactly what items did.
Yeah.
If they knew that they needed more damage to win out the damage chart, they would have made all aggressive. They had all interfere points in the world.
Yeah,
but
they had all the tag points, they had all the interfere points, but they played it safe because I was thinking the same thing as you to go aggressive and, you know, secure the win. But, you know, items having that experience, I don't know. We're not them, so we don't know what was going through their head, but it just seems like they knew that they had the little advantage, and you know, as long as they didn't take too much damage while they were waiting for the clock to count down, they were able to calculate it to see that they were the victors of this TKO.
500 IQ is every member of items, and that's the only way you can calculate that minuscule damage.
Usually it's Jonghyun who does the calculation and who does gives the order of, you know, when the escapes come back through comms, and this is, you know, it has been like this ever since last year.
So, in the end, Jong-un is God.
Yeah, that's why if you've been following Blade and Soul since last year, there's some Korean Jung-Eun fans that bring, you know, the AlphaGo. There was this thing with AlphaGo. They would bring a picture of AlphaGo and put Jung-Eun's face on it.
Alpha Yoon right there.
Yeah, Alpha Yoon. So that's how much calculative to the second he was, and he still is.
Wow.
And that just gave them the victory with only 10,000 damage difference.
I've been impressed by Jong-Eun in many instances throughout my career as a caster
Yeah.
for Blade and Soul, but this might be topping it all. So much calculation, but we're going to go to a short break. We'll be back in Game 3.
Do I play it safe and stay behind, knowing what I face? Please tell me what to do. Heed the call, rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear, standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me. I will not stop until I'm there. Now the only thing that I regret after looking back is that I waited so long. But I know with all my beating heart, I'm on the right track. Wish I knew it all along. Heed the call, rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear, standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me. I will not stop until I'm there. Heed the call. Heed the Heed the call. I can hear your voices calling me from a distant place, but I don't know what to do. Heed the call,
Welcome back, everyone, to 2017 World Championships. We're going to be back once again with day 3, but that game 2 was just absolutely insane.
Yep, it was. And I'm just still thinking about it while we just did our intro. I'm like, is that possible?
We're trying to use our semi-KR calculators in our heads to make that happen, but it just doesn't work out. We still don't understand why IDEP stood still. The only reason they did that is that
we
they
understand.
knew.
It's just
they
that
knew.
Yeah, we don't understand how they knew.
I know.
Like to calculate all the way down to the 10,000s damage. We're definitely gonna ask them how or who actually calculated it.
Yeah.
Who gave the order for Doug and Kang to just stay away as long as possible. But that was amazing and very, very unfortunate for Bad. Like as we were casting, we thought Bad Intentions had it in the bag.
Definitely.
But I guess that's not the case.
And the more surprising fact of the matter is staying still and hugging the wall, which they did near that last 5 to 6 seconds, was the correct choice to do.
Yeah.
Because if they went in aggressively and maybe taking the damage on the other end from Bad Intention, that 10,000 difference would have gone against them.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was a correct choice by IDES, but how they came up with that correct choice was just beyond me.
Yeah, that is. And now we have Thank You from Taiwan versus Bad Intentions, and this is going to be the loser's match. And the loser of this match is eliminated.
We're going to get our first eliminated team from day 3. It could be either the Taiwanese team, Thank You 9527, and it could be either the European side of Bad Intentions. So I don't know. I'm still trying to cast, but I'm still ahead.
I think it's time for us to move on.
We have to move on.
Yeah, it's
okay,
time.
So
it's time for you to move on. I've moved on, and I am ready for Thank You versus Bad Intentions. And regardless of who wins or loses, it's just I always feel so sad when a team, especially during Worlds, gets eliminated and gets sent home, or eliminated from the tournament. They probably don't go home right away, but yeah, when they get eliminated, I feel so bad because I know every single team that's participating in Worlds has prepared for this tournament, and especially the teams that got eliminated on the first day. I really, really hope that they practice and they come back stronger next year.
Now, relatively speaking here, Thank You 9527 had the worst game in terms of going on this first game of day 3. They lost out in a 4-0 clean sweep, whereas the side of Bad Intentions, they went to potentially the full set with being even a 1-1 with the tag. Deciding it all for either team was the case for the second match. So, Thank You 9527, they could not even get one single win throughout day 3. So, in order to stay alive, they have to get at least a few wins. And it still will be a best of 4, so it can be decided in an instant. But Bad Intentions, as you see on the screen, these 3 guys have done a lot better relatively when it comes to going up against your first opponent, which was IDEPS. They put up a good fight in the single, getting 1-1 even until game 3 came through, and that confusing. And we're going to move on from it, but it was confusing as to how they lost that one. But all in all, Bad Intentions having a little bit better performance compared to Thank You in day 3. Let's see who gets the win right here. Going to be the first match with Wu Yanbin on the Summoner versus Tena on that Warlock.
Yep, and we are ready because, it just seems like all 6 players are good. But from Thank You, I always remember seeing Wu Yanbin Summoner do all the things that he needs to do and more. Same goes for Tena. He does pull out that crazy burst damage, knocking out his opponents in an instant. And we do have the 2 star players from each team going at it.
We're going to go on to game 1 between Thank You from Taiwan versus Bad Intentions from Europe to see who gets that first point in this best 4. Stay on. Not many times do we see 4 warriors. Really trying to pick out a win here. The cat and the familiar. Very much warriors as well.
And there we go. Tenna's making his first move without the familiar. And there we have the familiar spawn. And he already got rid of 30% to 40% health.
And that was only after Woo-Yanbin had to heal some of that damage back, but it was initially 50% damage going through. Time distortion will come through.
Yep, and he will make
another
his move.
series up damage from Tenna. This time he won't be able to heal back as much as he did the first.
Another
third
knockup.
series of aerial from
And
Tenna.
he is out of escapes. And that Tether Blade lands once again.
He doesn't miss a skill.
Yep.
Tenna.
He doesn't. And why? Did you just see him?
Yeah, he was laughing at him.
He was laughing. But it
Yeah.
just seems more like he is happy that he got the first win. And we have Ryuki on the side, you know, being happy with him.
I mean, I don't know if that's just being him be
Yeah.
happy. There's something way more emotional about that laugh there. You know, Tenna, he's really has a lot of pride for himself because of how successful he was in Europe. So that same type of performance. I mean, we've seen this image so many times in Europe. We just didn't think it would happen in Worlds. And once it came to the big stages, but here he is, at least for the singles.
Yep.
Doesn't miss a skill and just gets him into the aerial as soon as his opponent comes down.
Yeah. And, you know, just remember, this is still best out of 4, and it's the loser's match, which means if a team loses, they are eliminated, and that's probably why Tenna was laughing or smiling or was being joyful, because he got that first win pretty easily for his team.
They're going to game 2 where they see Valentine's can continue over there. We haven't seen Luki many times in the singles. By the way, Tenna wanted to let me know to tell you guys that Ryuki, the assassin for Valentine's, has never lost a single for this entire Worlds 2017.
Actually, no, that is untrue. I think he was talking about against IDEPS because he did lose to the Russian team and he had that phase.
Game 4,
so
yes.
Tenna was talking about against IDEPS and they were very proud of Ryuki not losing a singles. Bad Intentions actually not losing singles against a Korean team. And now Luki will be going up against a Destroyer, the 2 spinning classes.
So I'll ask Tenna for a reconfirmation. Very broad term for him, but it will be Luki, not Ryuki, going for Bad Intentions for game 2 against Sudong Shan, the Destroyer for Thank You 957. Let's get on. I told you many times before ending, Luki is one of those guys, just hides behind the corners, but when the time is right, he makes his presence felt. But we haven't seen him that many times in singles. It's mostly Ryuki and Tenna coming out for the side of Bad Intentions, but this time they do send him out. What he does against Destroyer, Sudong Shan.
All right, there we go. We have Luki using his second win first, but the Destroyer actually took the damage.
Okay, he's gonna go for damage without that tap escape available from Luki.
He's getting punished.
Another stun coming through.
All right, there we go with the block of plays. Now Luki is out of all escapes.
Okay, Sudong Shan trying to counter back at this effort. Still 5 seconds left in the second win for Luki, so has to be careful, but he's still right up front to the Destroyer.
Tried to get some of that Dragon Tongue landing. There we go with the tab.
Win right away.
That knockdown will give him the opportunity, and now the Destroyer only has his persistence. Luki has to do as much damage as he can. Oh, that
Another
dink!
stun, and this might be enough to finish him off.
Oh no,
will
the
it be
dink!
though? And that will be Sudong Shan picking it off.
The Reflect wins the Destroyer the game.
Really does.
Wow.
And Sudong Shan from the side of Thank You, making it even at 1-1. Luki could not get it done. He was, for all those 35 seconds that he was on cooldown with that tab escape, he was up front and still fighting against the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just his playstyle, but just turned out to him to be a very aggressive type of play that was risky against him.
Yeah, the dinks happening against the Destroyer is probably, you know, the biggest problem for Luki in this matchup. And, you know, Luki did have the advantage later on when, you know, the Destroyer was out of gust. But he got too hasty and didn't calculate or didn't consider the dink. And when that happened, that deflect happened, that was it for Luki. And now it is tied 1-1. it will be the last match, match 3, the last tag match for either one of the teams.
We'll be back once again. Bad Intentions have been in this position before. Did that with IDEPS just in this previous series. But the result that we all know so well. We moved on from it, but it was a shocking loss for the side of Bad Intentions in the end. So they want to forget about that and move on from that as well, because they know, along with Thank You, that this match will decide who will get eliminated from Day 3 portion of World 2017.
Yep, and we do have a Destroyer, Blade Master, and a Summoner on the Taiwanese side, and we have Assassin, Warlock, and the Blade Master on
Blade
Bad
Masters.
Intentions.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
two
get
Blade
Blade Masters
yeah.
on the same game.
We haven't
Very,
seen
very
that in a while.
uncommon. Especially not in Korea, because we have probably 1 or 2 Blade Masters that we're only aware of, but other than that, you see these guys for the first time. See how the Blade Master mirror match, if it does come forth, see how that goes.
Yep, and they were only 10k behind IDEP, so, you know, I'm pretty sure Bad Intentions has that confidence still going up against Thank You right now. Not saying that Thank You is bad, it's just, you know, the Bad Intentions had the most recent gameplay against a very strong team. Even though they lost, it was through a TKO and only 10k damage difference. So, you know, I'm pretty sure Bad Intentions has that hype and has that adrenaline still going for them.
But that confidence really should not turn into an overconfidence and a little bit of arrogance there, as that will backfire against the entire side of Bad Intentions. So, whether they can control that emotion and quick get a win, or whether it'll be Thank You 9527 getting a win for Taiwan, we'll have to find out in this final match. Let's get it on. This will be the last match between Taiwanese side, Thank You 9527. Could be Europeans, Bad Intentions, being their last match of World 2017.
The first
if they don't get a
matchup
win here.
The first matchup is a repeat of that singles, and
And
Summoner
the
is taking a lot
result
of
is
damage.
a repeat. Seems like deja vu once again for Wu Yanbin. He's seen this happen before. Happened in game 1 where he was annihilated.
Ooh.
From start to finish. Force out a attack right away,
look
but
at Tena
Sudo
going all out.
Shin! Tena, he didn't like how the last series ended, and he just wants to single-handedly finish off this team. On his way now,
Wow.
Sudong Shan will be able to tag out though.
Oh, he does
Oh,
tag
it goes
out.
to Wu Yanbin though. That's the wrong tag out. I think they should have gone on to Yahweh on that tag. Didn't have time to
Wu
switch, and
Yanbin
that
just
is a
gets knocked
crucial
out.
mistake over the side of Thank You, and that was gonna be crucial near the end of the game. Already not even 1 minute passing the game, and that wrong tag out just allowed an easy kill towards the side of Bad Intentions.
Yeah, the Taiwanese team definitely lined up wrong, and you know, Yuan Bing coming out with like 15% health just gets knocked out before
Another
1
tag.
minute.
Sudong Shan,
Okay.
10%. I mean, obviously they're not throwing, but just result-oriented speaking here.
Yep. The
Everything
results are
seems
showing,
like
and look
mistake.
at this.
Second man will be knocked off.
This is the last match.
Yahweh is not even coming for the interfere. What is he doing? He's gonna die off Sudong Shan if he's knocked up in the 1 minute and 30-second mark.
Yeah, 2 players getting knocked out before 2-minute mark.
Finally comes in, but Tena's gonna be knocked off.
Yeah,
but no,
just
Tena's
goes
gonna
off.
be killed
Yeah.
by the interfere coming in from Luki.
And
But
he's still doing
now
damage. Another
Tena is
knockup.
not even going out. He's just still sticking around, putting the damage
Time
with
distortion.
that 5% damage he has.
So little health, but he's still
He should
alive.
tag out. No,
Here we go with
Tena
the-
just toying with him now. He knows how much little health he has, but he just wants to finish on his own. Now brings Ruki for the first time in this match just to casually finish off. What a tragedy for Thank You 957. This is not the way they want to play their last game in World 2017, but I mean, even the side of Bad Intentions looks a little bit confused on how that turned out, but unless we get a confirmation from our producer that something was wrong with the way that Thank You 9527 had to do, you know, outside of their own decisions they made on their computers.
Yeah.
It just seems like a surprising, a very shocking loss for Thank you, 9527. And there you go. The banner is up.
All
Bad
right.
Intentions will get the win. And they will move on to the next round.
Yeah, it just seemed like some of the tag mistakes. Yeah, like you never see in this tournament, like World Championships, you don't see the wrong lineups. You don't line up the wrong way and, you know, come out with like 5% health when you have a Blade Master on your team with 100% health. And that is what happened. And Woo Bin got knocked out even before the 1 minute mark. Right here, we're going to see it soon.
There you go. Woo Bin is lined up as the second man up. So if you tag out right here, you will be sending a Woo Bin, but they had way enough time to send Yahweh into that second man lineup. And you send none other than the Squishy Summoner with 15% health as an immediate just emergency tag out.
And it would have made more sense if the Blade Master, let's say the Summoner does come in, but the Blade Master comes in right away to support, and you know, that didn't even happen. So it was kind of a unique way, and it did not work out for them if they planned that tag out on purpose for some reason. It definitely did not work out. It definitely backfired on them, and it seems like after the match they are talking about it, but now it is too late.
I think even the producer is telling us that nothing is going to be wrong for this case, and we might even go to commercial break because everything is over. And thank you, 9527. Despite their good efforts they put on into entire day 3, they showed from day 1 and day 2 onwards, they will be eliminated in the worst of fashion. But none other than that, still good job to those guys for making it this far. But we are going to go to the commercial break, and we're back. One of the last matches coming up.
Standing tall, even though the weight is crushing me, I will not stop until I'm there.
Welcome back, everyone, to 2017 Blade and Soul World Championships. On to day 3, once again, we got our first eliminated team from day 3 of our Worlds 2017, and it will be the Taiwanese team. Thank you 9527, who put up a good effort, but that tragic mistake near the end of that game 3 was probably the worst way to end your run in the World Championship. But unfortunately, they will be eliminated, and we hope them better luck in the next year to come.
Yep, and now up next is best out of 7. We have Guardian from NA versus IDES from Korea, and this game will determine the first team out of the 4 to secure the seed now for the the quarterfinal. Sorry.
And right now, IDES has been a Korean team that has been undefeated through many bouts against the Western teams they had so far in the World 2017. They faced a Western team, I believe, about 3 times already.
No, twice in Hurricane. They versed the Hurricane twice, and they were able to beat them both times, resulting in Hurricane to be knocked out.
Yes.
And if by any chance they beat Guardian and they knock him down to the loser's bracket, that will be, like you just said, an undefeated streak for IDEPS against any EU teams.
They did beat Bad Intentions, though. So
so
that's 3 times.
So that is 3 times.
So that they did face them 3 times and has not lost to any Western team so far, whether it's NA or EU. So will Guardian be the first team to beat out IDEPS as the first Western team to defeat a Korean team for the first time? We're going to be finding out very, very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because, like you just said, like IDEPS, they have lost to RMB Gamings once during that round of 16, during the group stages, and that was the only one loss they had during the group stages. And the rest of the games, like we just mentioned, two games against Hurricane, they won 4-0 and 7-1, and they just beat Bad Intentions. So now they will be going up against Guardian from NA, and will Guardian be prepared and ready enough to go up against IDEPS and give them the first loss against Western team?
I mean, Guardian from North America has had mixed results in this entire World 2017. They've been on bad days, they've been on good days, but somehow they are still in this tournament. While many teams, some from NA, some from other regions, have been eliminated already, they are still in this one. You see the names here, you see the Bears, also with Vape, also Aikini. On those classes that you guys are very familiar with, they will be able to play against this Korean side of IDES for the very first time.
Yeah, and like we just said, it will be the best out of 7s. So we've had 3 best of 4s already, and now this giving them the chance to secure that first spot in the quarterfinals out of the 4 teams. It will be best out of 7, and we will see how much they have prepared for this.
They will be against the Korean side of IDEPS, who have been very strong in these best of 7 formats, more so than they have been in the best of 4s. And they like these long runs and having to play more and more matches, especially with Jung Won-yoon, really exhausting his opponents with every match that he appears on the field. And this guy right here, as you see on the center, Jung Won-yoon, he's been the main character, the superstar for the side of IDEPS ever since the creation of this team. And these 2 other players, Sang Kim and Duggan Kang, has been on the supportive role for him. But Sang Kim, it's more important for this guy to always be on the up roll, to put in the damage as that assassin that he is. So Jung Won-yoon, while he can carry the team, he won't be able to do it without Sang Kim's contribution for the team.
Yeah, it's very funny that you mentioned that, because usually, when we see an assassin, and when Sang Kim is popping off and doing so well, usually an assassin is the carry of the team. But for IDEPS, when Sang Kim isn't performing too well, we have Jung Won-yoon on the Force Master, who usually plays the support role, who usually comes in for the defensive interferes, but he is doing the carrying most of the time.
I'm telling you, I mean, as a Force Master, you're supposed to be the supportive, freezing your allies during those tags without interfere, but it's all about Jung Won-yoon having a different mind about what a Force Master can be. And basically the creation of the wall bang technique has been really started with Jung Won-yoon perfecting that technique more than anyone else. So Jung Won-yoon being that person, really show everybody what a Force Master can be and show off. See whether he carry his team once again.
Yeah, we will have the Assassin versus Force Master, and this is a different Force Master like we always mention, especially when Jung Yoon is going up against an assassin. And we will see if the Bears is able to knock this Force Master out and finally give him a defeat as an assassin.
Once again, this is a best of 7, so many more matches will be involved. And every match does not count as heavily as it would in a best of 4, but the Bears, for the side of Guardian, would like to give a 1-point lead for his team over the Korean side of IDES, but Jung Yoon is not going to easily allow that.
Yeah, and if he does beat Jung Yoon, he can proudly say, I beat him with an assassin when Jung Yoon was on the Force Master and the music has changed. Let's get ready for our first match. Let's get it on.
Here we go for game 1 in this winner's bracket. Winner of this series will automatically have their spot in the quarterfinals, but it will be a best of 7 to really even out the teams to see who really deserves it, but it will be the first single against us all.
Alright, there we go. They are making their first move. Freeze himself from that landmine. Perfect. And the meteor strike.
Doesn't go towards anywhere. The Bears doesn't see much pressure coming from that specific effort.
Ooh, he is keeping his distance.
The Bears going in pretty aggressively. The Frost Burst.
Yeah, but no one has yet to use their first escape.
It's true, and
there we go.
besides the Lotus of Escape has been taken. The Bears gonna go in aggressively. Does freeze himself, Jung Yoon. No, not much HP back from that effort.
Oh, perfectly unfreezes, and the landmine does not connect. And Jung Yoon has yet to use a single escape.
Other than a retreat, but we don't really like to consider that as a category.
Yeah, that's just like a back roll, so cooldown's short. There we go, another landmine. This time around, the landmine connects.
Still saves the escape, Jung Yoon.
Yep.
Doesn't feel much threat from that landmine.
Yeah, but the health bar seems, you know, pretty even. They are going back and forth.
Now, Jung Yoon usually like to measure out his opponent to see what his best move will be against a specific opponent, but
Oh,
really,
the stealth is finally used.
this might be the beginning of this. Jung Yoon now really goes into hungry canine mode. Going aggressively. There he goes, starting off with the Phantom Grip. See whether we'll continue on with this, about to see.
Yeah, and the bear is out of both escapes now for the next 20 seconds. If one bad CC happens, one bad wallbang, the Bears might be eliminated.
Go, we're gonna find out with Jung Yoon. He's very keen on calculating the timer on those cooldowns. He knows 5 seconds will be giving back the Bears the stealth that he needs.
Yeah, there is already only 55 seconds left of the match, and look at the health bar. They are both pretty healthy.
Will we get one of our very, very few TKOs in a single that we have barely seen? World Style 17. I don't know if we've seen any.
There we go. Jung Yoon finally making his move once again. The Frost Burst does not connect.
Taking it slow. Now kind of speeding up a little bit on both sides. Jung Yoon looking for the poke there, but the Bears not going to really allow that.
There we go. Stealth is out again once again for the Bears. 2 escapes are out.
Jung Yoon now looking for the situation. Maybe if from this situation, the Bears might just need to step back a little bit and just forget about putting in damage.
With the chill. He's going to make his move right now with the aerial, with the double aerial.
We'll need to finish him off.
9 seconds left. He's going to wait. Oh, there we go. He's going to put in the last.
Now he is in trouble. The Bears need to go for trouble.
2 more seconds.
Bang. Will it be enough time to put in enough damage? But I don't think so with that last bit of effort put in by Jung Yoon. I think he does have enough damage to win out in this TKO.
Wow.
Let's see.
37,000. And Jung
Definitely,
Yoon,
yes.
the last bit of damage was huge, and that gave Jung Yoon the victory.
It was almost double the damage with 22,000 amount of difference between the two sides. The Bears, it was pretty even until that last effort came in from Jung Yoon. But after that one, we knew, despite all the health that Jung Yoon can gather back with the heals, that was still a lot of damage being put compared to what he has taken for himself from the Bears.
Yeah, and you guys just saw that, you know, Jung Yoon does not gave the assassin to do any combos whatsoever.
Barely even used an escape.
Yeah, and you know, this is what Jung Ho-yoon's Force Master is. You know, when we see Jung Ho-yoon play the Force Master, it's just so OP, but other than Jung Ho-yoon, when we see the Force Master, it is normal.
And
It's a normal character.
And unfortunately for those other Force Masters you say ending, I think just automatically become the budget Force Masters.
And they're not even the bad ones. It's just Jung Ho-yoon is so outstanding that it just makes the other Force Masters kind of look bad, or budget as you call it.
I know.
But I know that Jung Ho-yoon is just a monster.
We all know it
Yeah.
at this stage as well. He was actually the catalyst for the win that he earned over Bad Intentions, especially more importantly in that tag match they hit in game 3, which really clinched out the win to get them into this position in the first place. So winner's match is what these two teams are facing for right now. The winner of this series will advance to the quarterfinals without any questions asked. But it will be many more games to decide who the true winner is, but game 2 will give us a better indication of who gets that second point available in this series.
Yeah, and usually the Korean casters and the analysts usually like to say a Destroyer versus Assassin. The Assassin definitely has the edge, definitely has the advantage, but this is Worlds once again, and you never know what is going to happen. You don't know if the Destroyer will be able to just beat and stomp on the Assassin, and we'll have to see in this second set if Vape will be able to own or beat Kim's Assassin.
And speaking of Vape, he's one of those Destroyers that are very unique in the way that he aggresses towards his opponent, more than typical Destroyers. Whether that playstyle will work against Sang Kim. Sang Kim hasn't been great on day 3 so far, but whether he changed it up and brought him back onto this good condition, we're going to have to find out in this game 2. Will tell us a better story of that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see if he has, you know, recovered from his bad fat fingering, not being able to do what he wants. Because I remember him saying in the backstage, you know, sometimes I get nervous and I have stuff planned out in my head, but I can't carry it out during the games. And that is, you know, a lot of the days more than, you know, he has more of those days than the good days. So we'll see what happens in this second match.
It'll be important for Sang Kim to have a good day, at least for this match and at least for this series, to get them into a spot in the quarterfinals is exactly what IDEPS is reaching for at this moment.
Definitely, and they do want to go to that quarterfinals as the first seed of this second place group placement.
We're going to go on to the match very, very soon. It seems like everything is ready and up to go. We're going to go on to set 2. Guardian from North America versus IDEPS from Korea. See who gets that second point. Let's get it on. We almost got to the full song ending.
Yeah, we did.
I've never heard that far into that theme
Yeah, I never
song.
heard that part.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a new song.
A good introduction to what that song sounds like in the middle part of the section. When I heard the beginning. So anyway, we're gonna get into the second match after that prolonged introduction. Let's see Vape whether he can pick out a win against Sang Kim, because right now they are 1-0 behind thanks to Jung Ho-yoon picking off that win against the Bears. So game 2 will be ever so important for Guardian. Get the point that they need.
Yep, Typhoons. Nothing too much is happening right now. No escapes has been used. No forced escapes. So they are slowly getting to each other's Searing Strike.
Similar to game 1, these two players are also taking it very, very slowly to start us off, but Sang Kim was Force him onto the webbing now. The landmine is being procced. The Bombard is going to do a little bit more damage, but
Still no escapes used. There we go with the body swap.
this might
Bombard,
force a
close
little bit of
shave.
escape. The Bombard is coming through. It still saves it. So very good of Vape for not taking too much damage and still being able to save that escape for herself.
Yeah, but it has been one-sided, even though this. Oh, there we go. The first escape used of this match, but still, Vape has taken too much damage compared to Sang-ho Kim.
There will be Sang-ho Kim not even using the stealth, but the Lotus of escape, so he'll still have the tab escape available. Any more sign of danger still come through.
Ooh, high record. Knocks him down. The back roll chase with
Poison Breath.
the Shadow Slash.
Finally, he's going to use the tab escape. Poison Breath doing a lot of damage. Really have to get out of there for negating all the continuation damage that Sang-ho Kim wanted to put out.
Yep. So,
Oh,
he
and stun
makes his
comes up.
move.
It's going to be Sang-ho Kim in a little bit of trouble unless he wants to tab out. He's going to be staying in for now. Tab escape is available for Sang-ho Kim once again. Puts a lot of damage and doesn't even give him a time to use the tab
Pile
escape.
driver.
Yeah.
Just back rolls out of there.
But in the end, Sang-ho Kim saves the tab escape.
Yeah, 1 minute left, and you know, when that clock turns red right now, they are gonna go aggressive.
With a little bit of healing that Vape, Destroyer, does have.
Yeah.
Wonder what the damage chart will look like in the end if it does go over the TKO. But Sang-ho Kim's not going to wait for the TKO. He's just going to go for it all.
No escape for the Destroyer.
This is a good chance for
Sang-ho
Sang-ho
Kim
Kim to
is-
finish him off here.
Yeah, definitely gonna finish him off
Knockdown.
because he has that stealth.
The retreat is even used. Nothing for
Knockdown.
Vape to get out of there.
Ooh.
Just knocking him back. Trying to just negate
Stealth.
all the
There
damage.
we go.
Another stun.
He's
Why not
blinded.
finishing him off? He didn't finish him off though.
Sang-ho Kim is definitely not Jung Yoon. Maybe he thought that 5 seconds, he miscalculated 5 seconds
Yeah.
for that escape.
I mean, he does have a little more flexibility room to, you know, because of so much health difference that he has.
He definitely knows that even if it does go down to the TKO, he has the victory on the damage
Oh yeah,
chart.
definitely. So
Yeah.
Sang-ho Kim's not gonna just force things if he is not the human calculator like the Jung Yoon is. So keep it as it
Back
is.
roll, all Shadow Slash.
This will be it.
Yep.
And most likely Sang-ho Kim's gonna take the win here with the more damage chart and with all the healing that comes from the Destroyer. It would be very surprising if Vape takes the win, but most likely it will be Sang-ho Kim. And there we go.
Yep, there we go. with
Very,
Sang-ho
very
Kim.
large victory.
Yep.
Uh,
Roughly 30 more thousand damage. 30,
About, yeah.
yeah, 30,000 damage.
Yeah, about
Yep.
29,000, a little bit over the side of Vape, and the Destroyer with all the healing could not overcome the damage chart in the TKO. Like we said, the Assassin, Sang-ho Kim, he had a chance to finish him off on that stun, but couldn't calculate those last few seconds on the cooldown, so that's why he didn't go for the all-in, but in the end, a win is a win, and Sang-ho Kim's going to take that.
Yep, and IDEPS is now up 2-0. We will be moving on to the one and only third set, the first tag of the best out of 7, which will give that team the momentum, or if Guardian wins, take away the momentum of IDEPS. But if IDEPS wins this tag, they will be up 4-0, and that is a huge gap for Guardian to close.
So both teams really important sides to
Yeah.
the significance of what Game 3 can bring to you, because it's the first time you guys play a tag between the two sides, and really when you take those 2 points after having to fight so hard for those singular points
Yeah.
you earn through the singles, that double or nothing does have a huge momentum shift if it goes to either way, and I mean, both IDEPS and really Guardian really need those 2 points for different reasons.
Yeah, and you know, they still, even if Guardian loses this tag, they still have the chance. They still have 4 more matches left. This is only the 3rd match, and if Guardian wins this, that is very good for them, tying it up 2-2. And IDEPS had to try so hard to win, you know, 2 singles to get that 2 points, but they could just win 1 tag and just tie it up.
That's what's really the psychological effect of what Game 3 can present to your team, and 2 more points. It's a lot of points when you like you said, Ending, worked so hard for those 2 singles to get those 2 points for your team. You lose it all for yourself and get your team back to even. Feels very good for the team that got it back to even, but it feels just as bad for the team that just acquired 2 points to get it back to even again.
Yeah, and it seems as if Guardian is ready, but on the IDEP side, it seemed like Duggan Kang's headset had a problem, and we saw the ref and the technician check out his headset, and let's hope nothing is wrong, and we can move on with our 3rd set.
See the players watching towards Duggan Kang as the technician. gonna be still shaking out. So
Yeah.
seems like the problem is gonna take a little bit longer than we expected. So back to us, guys.
Yeah, when it's a small problem, we just, play the song and the cameraman show what is going on the stage. But when it does come back to us, it means it may take a couple of minutes, and we have to entertain you guys for a little bit. I know you guys don't want to see our faces. You want
so
you want to see the matches. We do too. But unfortunately, we want, we always repeat this. We want the players to have the best environment for their games, to show us entertainment through the games. So
entertainment is the toughest thing for us. And what are we supposed to do, as entertainers?
Stand up and sing and dance. No, don't.
You want me to do something, I'll try my best. That you tell me what to do, and I'll make my best effort to do it. But as the entertainer that we're supposed to be, we'll do our talking good enough so they can stall through these few minutes that the technician needs to get the headset working right for Doug and Kang. But just other than that, we just talk about the importance of really Game 3. And like I said, all the problems need to be fixed so that they don't happen during the game. I'd like to remind you guys once again that this match is ever so important for both of these teams, because the winner of this series does make their 7th spot that is available for the quarterfinals that is starting tomorrow.
And I just want to talk about, we didn't have this information on the first and the second day, but right now I see this in front of me. And, on the team IDEPS, the youngest player on IDEPS is 27. And everybody else, I'm not going to, 27, 29, and 29. So we have 2 29-year-olds and 1 27-year-old. But on the other hand, Guardian, the oldest player on Guardian is 24. So, I don't know, it doesn't really matter about age, but in Korea, especially in Korean esports, a lot of the people think that, usually the younger people have the faster reflexes. They have the fresher brain, and they're able to calculate faster. They're able to reflect faster. So especially for other games and Blade and Soul, including Blade and Soul, because Blade and Soul is such a fast-paced game. A lot of the Koreans, I'm not saying everybody, a lot of the Korean players and a lot of the Korean analysts consider being young a good thing for esports players, especially for a pro gamer. But right now we have IDEPS pretty old, 29, 2 29-year-olds, and we have Guardian very young, 22, 23, and 24. So I don't know if this will become true or not, or if experience exceeds the youngness or the youngins.
The youngness,
yeah.
Yes.
So we'll have to see. But, I just want to talk about it because we didn't have it, and in front of me, I just saw it. I'm like, what is this? All these numbers.
It's a good point you're making, and I did read up on an article from ESPN yesterday about talking about the average age of a certain esport title, the competitive players that are participating in the World Tournament that is starting very soon for them as well. We saw that it's to be around 21 to 22 years of age. That is the average age of average.
That is a very low average.
It is, because that's just telling you so much younger players seem to have an advantage with the amount of the physicality and also your mechanics when you can control through the different parts of the game much more than the little bit of older players who are maybe a little bit mechanically slower than the younger players can be. But even one of the NFL average age, the football players they have over there is around 27, as they say. So very much of a different cycle when you compare the average age of esports compared to conventional sports. But as you mentioned, ending Blade and Soul is a little bit different when it comes to those average age. And we have not only IDES, but back over to GC Busan Red, and we over have to Coup d'etat, except Shingon Kim. A lot of these players, even in Korea, they are much, much older than the average age we like to consider to be the average for esports players. But Blade and Soul, experience does come into big play, and for these players that are participating for the first time from North America and Europe, they're still young, and with more experience, if they keep their innate skills, they can prove to be very successful players in the future.
Yeah, and now I know, and I have a new excuse for me being bad at games. Especially as a KFM player, personally, I go PvP and I lose, and I don't really have a good excuse other than me just being bad. But now I can just say, this guy is younger than me. Yeah, okay, I'll give him that. And that will be the official excuse of ending life whenever he loses PvPs.
I spoke to I whispered to chat while you guys while you were trying to make your excuses count, but ending life is very good at video games. By the way, much more talented than I am. I'm just very much an enthusiast of watching the video games, and I love that experience. But playing it is a different thing, and you have to be born with it, like ending life here and all of these esports players out there. But if you guys know it just like I do, if you're not good at video games, just have fun watching it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we're here to help you guys understand, or you guys could roast us, help you guys roast somebody other than the players. They have nothing wrong with what they are doing. They are always trying their best, as we are always trying our best to give you guys good information. And what is going on the screen?
No, they're showing us a replay because they need a lot more time and they don't want to show us on screen anymore. A very good excuse for OGN to do that. I would understand it. I would have done the same thing if I were their production team. But over the voice, we can still talk about some of the things, but let's talk about tomorrow, because today's a relatively shorter day after today's game. This game and the next game will be the last game of day 3, and which is very, very different and very unusual for the fact that we had such long days for day 1 and day 2. But day 4, could you like to just enlighten us on what will happen throughout day 4 and how long it will be?
Well, I don't know if you guys remember the beginning of the broadcast when we usually show you the overview of this whole schedule of World Champions. Today, like Joel mentioned, is a very short day considering tomorrow we will start at 10 a.m. KST and we will go probably around 10 hours to 12 hours. That's like basically the whole day of Blade and Soul action.
We are basically casting bots for so much hours that we are being used to cast it and provide the entertainment for you guys. But we are definitely enjoying every moment of it because we're being so passionate about so many new entries into teams. We got to know the NCUS people for the very first time. I personally got to meet some of the staff and the players definitely for the very first time. It was a very enjoyable moment for me personally. I'm sure, Ending, you also have your moments, and seeing the NA and the EU participants for the first time. It's very much a different experience in this World Championship compared to the previous years, and we're definitely enjoying every moment of it. Yeah,
and it's not only about NA and EU, it's just about all the countries that participate. It's just that NA and EU players speak English, and we're comfortable speaking English, so we kind of do communicate with them a little bit more. But I do try to talk to the other players, like for example, in the backstage, we do say good luck to all of the players that I see, that I know are participating in this tournament. And, some of the Japanese players that I'm familiar with from seeing from last year. Same goes for the Chinese players as well. And some of the Taiwanese players. It's just that, there is a language barrier. I only speak English and Korean, and that is very unfortunate for us, or for me, because I still want to talk to all of the players and get their feedback and see how they feel about the tournament, how if they are enjoying it, if they're not, what the problem is, what they think should be fixed. Everybody has an opinion about the game and about the tournament, and I would like to get feedbacks of everybody, but it's very unfortunate that we only speak English and Korean, and we can only speak to the Korean teams and the English-speaking players.
We'll make an effort to learn new languages so that we will no longer be bilingual, but we will know Japanese, Chinese, Thai, and also Vietnamese, and everything in between. So we'll be able to communicate with the players in the future, but I don't know how long it'll take.
Don't lie.
I will try. I'm learning Japanese right now.
That is true. That is true.
I'm learning Japanese at home by myself. I bought a textbook to see one by one, starting from the basics. I learned from the hiragana, but over to the katakana, and just everything about Japanese. I'm really passionate about learning, and that will be my first step into learning every language that is needed in Blade and Soul.
Yeah, and as we saw on the screen before when they showed the technician fidget and touch Doug-in Kang's headset, so it just seemed like it was just the sound problem. But for us to be talking this long and for the production team to show a replay of the previous games and then come back to us and make us talk more, it just seems like now maybe like the sound card blew up or something, because it's definitely not just the headset problem.
The problem seems to be a lot more severe than we initially thought. But you want to hear the sounds when you play the games.
Oh, yeah,
and that
definitely.
will be a huge disadvantage if you don't hear the sounds.
Sound is a big part of
especially
any
in
game.
tag, when you have to communicate with your teammates, and not just about the game sounds, but it's about being able to tell your teammates, do this, do that, or don't do that. So many necessary communication really is needed, especially for tag. And now this being the very important game 3 here is just gonna be going through to see whether we can get these problems fixed very, very soon. This is exactly what we're hoping for here.
Yeah, and sometimes you guys might see me just looking that way, and that is because there's a booth that we can see through over on that side, but there's another booth right under us, and we can't see that. And unfortunately, the team with the technical difficulty is under us, so we cannot see that way and see if the problem is being fixed or if it's about to be fixed. You can tell by the movement of the technician and the referee. If it's almost done, they get away from the players and let the players set up, and we get ready like this.
Are we ready?
The music has finally changed.
We are ready. Set 3. Like we said, the sound issue could be a big issue if it doesn't work. But now I think we are finally ready with Guardian and IDEPS. Really getting it ready to go for this game 3 to see who can pick up that 2 points. Right now, IDEPS has picked up 2 points for themselves through the 2 singles, but after this long delay, if Guardian can pick out 2 points for themselves through this one tag match, that will definitely knock out their wins off of IDEPS, really off that confidence that they have been building up for those 2 games so far.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty fortunate for Guardian to cut off that momentum of IDEPS getting 2 wins in a row. If it were to go back to back to back, and Guardians were going into the 3rd set with 2 losses in a row, that might be a little tilting. But now we had that short break without the commercial, and they didn't have the problem. So it just seems like the momentum of IDEPS getting that 2 win in a row kind of cut off, and it's feels like a fresh start.
Sure, and I think Guardian really needs every advantage they can get to hopefully get a win. This undefeated IDEPS, at least against the Western teams, and they're fidgeting against with the Guardian side a little bit now. Hope there's no problem. It doesn't come back to us. We need to make another fairy tale story to talk to you guys about, but I hope we are ready to finally get into game 3. Unless we get a music change, we won't know. So we're still up on our heels, just as the players are for different reasons, but we really, for the viewers, we really want to get onto game 3, and finally I think we are ready. Guardian, IDEPS, the long-awaited game 3 will be right underway. See it on. Thank you guys so much for staying with us through that long delay. But we're back.
Yep,
Game
we are.
3 between Guardian and IDEPS. See the Bears coming in from Sound Kim.
That's a mirror. Go. Ooh, the Bears using his stealth already right off the bat, but this is still tag, so it's not too much of a pinch. But that defensive interfere may come in from IDEPS' side. The Bears is making that offensive move, even though he is out of stealth.
And Sound Kim, it has all of his resources available. Now he knows. Even the Lotus escape has been gone.
Okay.
From the side of the Bears. He's gonna get it back though, using that time distortion coming in from Akini.
Yep. That was an unexpected, expected interfere from Akini, but the Bears taking a lot of damage.
Using the stealth already, Sound Kim having to be forced to use that as soon as the
Another
Bears
defensive interfere
came in very, very aggressively. Vape is gonna go in, turn a defensive interfere into a little bit of offensive interfere. Now both sides without any escapes. For the next 10 seconds for the Bears. There's
However,
12 seconds now for Sound Kim.
However, Sound Kim was able to make Guardian side use 2 interferes by
Another
himself.
stun coming in for the side of the Bears, but the lightning draw coming from the interfere from Duggan Kang does equal amount of damage over to the Bears.
All right.
13 seconds left between both sides. Put that force tag in.
they both want to save that tag point. Let's see if there we go. They are making the move.
Okay, but Sound Kim is going to be more comfortable going into this aggression because he has all those resources available. He does use the Lotus Escape.
Okay.
Be very safe distance for both sides to not even try for that chase there.
Yeah, and we have Aikini versus Jung Woo-yoon's Force Master. And he is making his move. The Sanctum is put down, but he is outside of it. Meteor Strike.
Tearing down the pieces not from the familiar, but Aikini taking an equal amount of damage from that. He gets into the aerial.
Okay.
He's going to go for a double aggression. Coming for that offensive interfere, coming with that assassin. The Bears try to put a damage onto Jung Woo-yoon, but he just simply freezes himself. Negates any damage that came from the interfere.
Jung Woo-yoon is waiting for that second wind to come back. 20 more seconds. He still does have the secondary escape with the back step, but he is in the air.
He has no escape, so Jung Woo-yoon has to be a little more careful now. Definitely forces out the interfere.
Dink!
Coming in from the Blade Dancer.
Okay, that deflect. I love hearing that dink.
You really do. You mention it every time.
Yeah, I do. The sound is just, you know, it's very opening. It opens my ears.
Wow.
It's different from the other sound when they attack. I don't know how to explain it.
You better thank NCSoft for making such a pleasurable dink for you, ending.
Yeah, it does. I do. I do thank them. And, you know, if I ever see the NCSoft developers, I'm going to thank them. But Duggan Kang is in the air by Aikini.
Masterfully by the Force Master from Jung Woo-yoon, coming from the interfere. Now actually very close towards both sides. We thought after those 2 wins that Items has gathered for themselves, they would use that confidence to really pummel towards the Guardian side. But really, Guardian has found the power, especially through the help of that long break. The confidence back to themselves. Vape going very strong onto the assassin. Sound Kim kind of startled by that situation.
And if you have noticed, Guardian is playing very well, managing their resources. They all have their tag points intact.
Free tags is what they only been accustomed to.
Yep.
And other than that, Vape already forced out the Lotus Escape from Sound Kim. Gets him into a stun here. Bombard. Will he be using the Perseverance? And there you go. Persistence has been used.
There we go. Vape is kind of playing it on the offensive side, but the interfere comes in, gives him his gust back.
He's going to get the escape back, which he very much needs against the assortment of CC that the assassin has with Sound Kim.
But now Aikini is out of all his interferes for the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That's pretty long.
No time distortion interferes on that one for at least 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That we'll get it back in the 3-minute mark, but until then, not that Warlock, but utility has been lost.
Yep, and that drag does not connect, and Sang Kim makes his move with the Shadow Slash.
Not much damage coming in from the assassin though, unless he can get a crucial stun, and he won't be able to carve out a destroyer the way he wants to Sang Kim.
But you gotta remember, the destroyer always heals up. He is at full health again.
Now, will it be the healing of the destroyer from Side of Guardian, or will it be Jung Woo-yoon's healing? That will have the biggest factor if it does go to TKO.
Yep, and 3 seconds until Sang Kim is force tagged out.
Another persistence being used already by the destroyer. Now Jung Woo-yoon frees himself as soon as that offensive interfere comes in. He almost did get chased out as soon as that attack came through.
Yeah, and I was talking about how Guardian was managing their points well, but they've only managed their tag points. Their interfere points are, 2 of the players have 0 interferes, and there's still 1 minute and 35 seconds until they get that 1 interfere point. So Vape is the only one with 1 interfere point left. It is not going to be good when that last interfere is used before the 3-minute mark.
But unless they can, stall out for that last 1 minute and 20 seconds, I think they will be very much rewarded for that once it gets to the extra late game.
Yeah.
After the 3-minute mark, once it starts getting to the crunch time, those tag points can be crucial to whether you will survive or just tag out to a very healthy teammate that you will have on the opposite end.
Yep, Warlock versus Force Master. There we go with the knockdown.
Knockdown will happen. It's out of their second win.
Ooh, but he is getting punished and he is in the air.
A little damage from the Warlock. Aikini really wants to punish him.
Frees himself, gets some health back.
Jung Woo-yoon so much health back through those heals. Now poking down the familiar. Familiar is scared and runs away and goes back to the ground.
Every time I see Jung Woo-yoon play the Force Master against anybody, I think his mission or his quest is just to annoy them.
really. I think that's what every player feels when they do go up against Jungwoo Yoon's Force Master. But Seung Kim is back out with that tag point. Last one being used by Jungwoo Yoon. First tag point being used by Guardian now, and the Bears is back out onto the field. Gonna be up against Seung Kim on this Assassin Mirror match once again. 10 seconds left to go before that 3-minute mark comes through, where everybody will get a tag point, interfere point back.
Yep.
So it's gonna be more beneficial towards Guardian, who have barely any interfere points. To get it back now, see how they utilize it.
Yeah, the body swap led into that offensive interfere from Vape, but nothing too much happened, and Sang Kim finally is out of both escapes as well as the Bear.
Stun comes up, but the Bears have to use that Lotus escape to get out of there. Gets him into the aerial.
Reactionary
Very dangerous situation. He has to be careful. The Warlock tries to put in the counter damage, but he should be focusing more on the defensive part of things. Brings back out Vape. Face Sang Kim and pulls him in.
Yep, defensive interfere comes in from Jungwoo Yoon.
Yeah, he has to, because that pull in could have been a dangerous situation for Sang Kim. Jungwoo Yoon wasn't there to freeze him up.
I feel the annoyance whenever Jungwoo Yoon comes in as interfere. I wonder how the players feel when that happens. Every time they had an opportunity, Jungwoo Yoon just comes in and just cuts it off.
Especially when Jungwoo Yoon does everything right. It's so annoying for your opposition, and I'm sure Guardian are feeling it to their feet. But it's all about keeping that consistency going. But it's gonna be Sang Kim coming up for the counter strike here. Will Vape be able to tag out? He does have 2 points. He needs to tag out. He shouldn't be staying out onto the field. Even with that Gust, I think he should really just save the interfere points and use one of those 2 tag points. He is available, but he might be taking more of a risk here. And he's getting the Poison Breath now. Now he tags out, but the easy chase comes through for Ides, and that's going to be easy knockout for Dougie Kang's Blade Dancer, forcing into a little bit of damage. Already second win being used by Aikini.
Yeah, and the Sanctum is put down, and very soon the Time Distortion will be used. But before that, he is in the air. But once again, Jungwoo Yoon comes in and
raises him up. It feels like Jungwoo Yoon has infinite interfere points of how many times he does that during the game. Dougie Kang now takes the damage coming from Aikini. This time, Jungwoo Yoon's interfere won't be there because it's on cooldown.
There we go. Dougie Kang, but puts him into the aerial. Offensive interfere comes in.
Trying to do the damage onto Aikini now. The Poison Breath doing a little bit. Oh, but he needs a little more than that. Aikini now in this opportunity. I was going to tag back out to Vape though.
Yeah, 44 seconds. And you know, I don't know, there has been a couple of opportunities for Ides to maybe knock one player out.
It's going to be the Iron Plating to negate that damage. Sang Kim is out on the field. He's being tagged in. That point from Dougie Kang.
Ooh, the Observer got super close.
Oh yeah. So even the Observer got confused by all that quick movement.
I don't know, maybe he's falling asleep or something. But that observing for that moment, for a couple seconds that we just saw there, was kind of awkward moment right there. But we are back.
There's
10 seconds left.
Used every one of his escape. Puts on the Poison Breath onto Sang Kim, but takes no damage from it. He just dodges away from it. This is about the heals now. It's going to tell us about the damage chart in the end, but there has been a lot of heal on both sides. So we just have to forget about the HP bar that we see in front of our eyes, but really have to determine who gets the win here. But it will be Ides.
Yep, it will be
out
Ides.
the 2 points in this best of 7.
80,000 damage difference. They definitely were confident this time around once again. More than when they were going up against Bad Intentions.
Let's move on from that, please. I don't want to go back to there and really have to cringe over that every second I remember. I just forgot about it.
Well, Ides takes the 4-0 victory, but like I said, it is best out of 7. First team to 6 points. 2 more singles coming up now. Set 4 and 5 will be singles. If Ides wins back-to-back, they will get a 6-0 sweep. But if Guardians takes at least 1 single, they will force Ides to go into set 6.
So it will be up to Guardian to see whether we're gonna see another tag match or not, because Guardian cannot force out a win here in any of these 2 singles coming up. It will be Ides automatically taking the win without having to play that long and arduous tag match once again.
And you saw on the replay, you know, like right now it's only 2 minutes left, but early on, maybe like 3 to 4 minutes into the game, it was pretty even. They were trading, and I mentioned multiple times that, you know, Guardian was managing their tag and interfere points very well, and when it got to the mid to late game, after like 5 to 6 minutes, Guardian started to use their interfere points too much compared to IDEPS, so they weren't trading their resource points, and they started to, you know, just deplete their interfere points, and that backfired on them in the late games, giving IDEPS the offensive advantage to go all out and get that 80+ K damage advantage at that TKO.
I mean, IDEPS has been very good on calculating the damage difference, and they've been so experienced in that. And that's where maybe the experience plays a bigger part in Blade and Soul compared to just the pure mechanics that these young players may have. But like we've been mentioning, these 3 players from IDEPS are very, very experienced. They know the ins and outs of how Blade and Soul works into play. But in this best of 7, 4-0 is a huge lead, and Duggan Kang on the KFM finally bringing it out once again for your pleasure, Anthony.
Yes, for my pleasure. I actually, in the backstage, asked Duggan Kang if he's gonna ever play the KFM in Worlds, and he said yes. And finally, I get to see him. And this is actually one of the important matches because, you know, the winner here gets to secure that first place seed into the quarterfinals, and he is bringing out the KFM against the Warlock.
Whether that will work, we're gonna have to find out. Duggan Kang brings out the KFM once again against Iconi's Warlock. Let's see who gets the win. Straight on. There we go. Second series of singles do begin between Guardian and IDEPS. You see Duggan Kang on the very, very long-awaited KFM. We like to see him on this class. More often than not, he's going to be up against Iconi, Guardian on that Warlock.
Yep, we will see how Duggan Kang will go up against Iconi's Warlock.
So beautiful the way he just approaches his opponent.
Rising Dragon. Iconi is out of his second win right now, and there we go with the familiar spawn. Duggan Kang is making his move, doing a lot of damage already. Around 55% health is down for Iconi.
Duggan Kang seems extremely comfortable about the situation. He's not troubled whatsoever. He's just poking it down. And it's really tough to say poking.
Ooh, the back roll chase happens!
KFM, but it's going to be a lot of damage coming in from Iconi. Will it be enough though?
Second win is used now. If Duggan Kang gets one more CC, there we go, one more CC, and Duggan Kang is done!
Second aerial! Doesn't even have to go into the air to finish him off. And Iconi picking up the very needed first point for the side of Guardian, and the only time you bring out the KFM when it leads to a loss like that, that feels bad.
Yeah, and you know, if KFM is out of that one escape, and he does have the secondary, it's not really an escape, it's a mid-frost, and you know, you can only use it when you're grappled or phantom gripped, and you know, a Warlock doesn't have that, so basically it's useless. So when that tab escape was forced out eventually by Iconi on Duggan Kang's side, that was when the next Tether Blade landing will kill Duggan Kang, and this is going to show that right now. That first aerial forces him to use a second win.
There it is right there.
Boop. There we go, is used and the Tether Blade, boop, and now he is done. When that KFM is out and it's against the Warlock, we all know how much damage a Warlock can do.
There you go.
Doesn't matter if you're KFM or not.
Having to go up against a very unseen KFM that we haven't seen for a long time with Duggan Kang. You asked him in the backstage whether he'll bring it out. Duggan Kang decided he's going to bring it out now.
He did bring it out.
But he kept his promise, but in the end, it ended in a loss for this guy once again. So we're going to have to eventually go to Game 6, and the tag will be eventual. There's not going to be a 6-0 clean sweep, as it is currently 4-1 in the scoreline. Let's see who's going to come out in this next single coming up. Iconi felt very good about his performance in the last game, and he's going to try to do that again. This time he has to do it against the assassin of Sound Kim.
Yep, and I just remember, you know, Duggan Kang said he will bring out the KFM. He didn't say he'll win with the KFM. So, you know, I'll give him some slack. And now, Sang-ho Kim, his teammate, will come out for the revenge match against Aikini's Warlock, and let's see if Aikini will be able to shut down Sang-ho Kim as well.
I mean, Duncan Kang is good at keeping his promises.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very detailed when it comes to the premises of what his promise will be. But with that loss, we're going to go to Sang-ho Kim, whether he can get another win, which is going to be giving much more confidence over the items. Let's see what they can do against Aikini. Let's find out. Stay on. When you got the only point for your team, you want to be out at every match possible, and this is the plan that Guardian is bringing out, sending out Aikini once again. Now his next opponent will be Sang-ho Kim on the Assassin.
All right, starts with the body shot, forcing Aikini to use his tap escape right off the bat. Escape is used, and
how that will affect the play, we're gonna have to find out. But Aikini just looking for that burst damage is exactly what he's looking for. But he has it forced out the tag. I mean, the tap escape out from Sang-ho Kim.
He did make him use loads of escape, so they did trade one escape per person.
He does have that crucial tap escape still available. Stun is coming out. He's gonna go for the 100-0. Be fine for now.
Aerial and the time distortion is used before the familiar is brought back in.
The webbing is going up and down.
Yeah. Oh no. Already using a second win once again after that time distortion.
As soon as that cooldown comes back down, he have to use it right after.
He is done.
And this is going to be done for Aikini because there's no escape for him to get out of there. Doesn't even have the familiar to use a body swap on, and that will be the ending lightning stride. Let's finish it off for Sang-ho Kim there.
All right.
Another point. Aikini does not beat every player from IDEPS with his play.
Yep, and now the scoreboard is 1 for Guardian and 5 for IDEPS. And the next set we will be going back to tag worth 2 points. So if IDEPS wins this, it will be a 7-1 victory, and if Guardian wins, it'll be 5-3, and we will be moving on to the last set, set 7.
We did see a lot of 7-1 scoreline yesterday in day 2. We had just all the matches in the best of 7 format. Saw a lot of these 7-1 most likely due to the fatigue and the mentality shift. You have been losing so many games in a series. You don't have the urge to pull back up and really get a victory that is needed for your team. But 7-1, it could come if IDEPS gets another win and Guardian does not have what it takes to pull that extra effort to get the win. But it will be the tag that could decide it all.
Yeah, and Guardian did take one singles away from IDEPS. However, in the third set, if you remember, IDEPS in the beginning was pretty evenly matched with Guardian, but the end result was that IDEPS had a crazy amount of advantage when they ended up beating Guardian in the TKO. It wasn't an elimination, so I guess there is some hope there for Guardian in this tag match. However, the 80,000 K difference in damage at the TKO is pretty big, considering there was nobody knocked out.
Yeah.
So let's see if Guardian is able to come up with a new strategy, or step up their game to take this set 6 away from IDEPS.
And whatever it takes, it really needs Guardian to not lose any matches from here on, because just one more match loss get them into a situation they do not want to be.
Alright, it seems like they are talking, and the music actually hasn't changed yet for us to get into the match, but nobody has any difficulties, and the music has changed now, and we will be going into set 6. Let's get it on.
Here we go. Let's begin set 6 between Guardian and IDEPS. And have the Assassin Mirror match to begin us off. The Bears versus Sang-ho Kim. The Bears could not find an answer against Sang-ho Kim throughout this series. Maybe he'll find a little bit more answers. We're going to have to find out very, very soon.
Yeah, and the loser of this match will be going up against Bad Intentions, the EU team, to see who will take the second seed to go into the quarterfinals. And right now, the first interfere has been already used on Guardian's side.
So much cooldown that has been reduced because of that time distortion coming in, but Sao Kim brings out his own interfere coming in from Duggan Kang. Tries to go for an offensive interfere, but that forced out the defensive interfere coming in from Destroyer. Use that Iron Plane to negate that interfere altogether. So interfere being traded towards both sides on that play.
Yeah, and 1 minute into the game, nobody's knocked out. Yay! We have been seeing a lot of early knockouts recently in the past couple of days.
Okay, the stealth has been used right away after that stun came through for Sao Kim. So the Bears, just be extra careful. He does seem to have that flower down. I don't know if that's a Sao Kim's flower, but
yeah, Sao Kim just put his flower down. The Bears had his flower down further away, but
now
just put it down.
Put it down now. So stun coming out. The Lotus Escape has been used by Sao Kim
knocked out
after that stun. So the Bears still has
the back roll chase.
He might have to use the Lotus Escape to get out of there. There you go. Which he does, but that's a lot of damage already being taken before he does it.
Oh!
Wow! He could have tagged out. This is the picture you hate seeing.
Yes.
2 tag, 3 interfere. Casual story of how valuable that is when you die with so many resources available, and that is going to be a huge loss for the Guardian.
Huge loss, and like you said, Joe, there was a moment for him to tag out, but
definitely.
Sao Kim just did that crazy damage.
A lot of damage in one strike, though.
And jungle unit just poking down, or not even poking, bursting down the familiar. Yeah. Wow, and Icony and Vape, the 2 players left on Guardian side, has to do something, make something work.
Even the familiar can die out with all the HP gone, but I mean,
timer has run out.
Think about this, you know, when you're 5-1 down and you're already trying to do your best efforts just to gain confidence, but not really about winning anymore. But when you're in a situation where you're down 3-2 this early, it's so much energy out of you.
Yeah. Well, Vape has used his last interfere. He won't be getting it anytime soon. 4 more minutes left until that interfere point comes back. So Vape will not be able to help Icony when he is on the field.
So in this situation, you might just want to send out the Destroyer Vape and use Icony as an interfere tool. Might be a better use of those resources, but showing you in the rest of the side, the wall bang, will it begin? He has to tag out, but he won't be able to. Not like he might be able to do enough damage to finish him off. I don't know why Icony's still on the field. He should just...
He's trying to save that tag point, but you know...
If will it be worth it?
If he saves it,
chase is going to be happening. It was a very, very easy chase.
And if Icony comes in, he does come in. Yeah, he might die. Oh, but Jungle Unit frees himself. There we go with interfere. He might...
He comes in for an interfere right away. Try to go for the offensive effort now. Babe, he wants to tag out, but what is he going to tag out to? A very near-death situation for Icony. So, it's just looking very bad now. So, after that loss from the Bears, just went downhill from here.
Yeah, that was huge. That was a huge loss when
just
the Bears
carving it down now. There's just going to be an instant KO, most likely. Any second now for Icony. Duggan Kang. Spin around. Don't really need to buy him time. Just showing mercy at this moment. Bombard. Any way you can finish him. And look for Icony. I mean, you want to put out your best effort, but it's impossible to win this one.
Well, he is trying his best, and I like seeing that you know, he doesn't give up, even though it's almost impossible for him to win. And there we go, the finish. 7-1 victory for IDEPS, and IDEPS secures that first place seed for that quarterfinals.
So they're going to be the 7th team qualified for that quarterfinal. We're just awaiting this one last team, and it will be, if the Destiny's fate really plays against us, it will be the Western Clash once again, with NA and EU fighting for the last spot in the quarterfinals. Guardian now heads back down into the losers bracket, with the winners from the losers being Bad Intentions, gonna be their challengers. See who gets that one last spot in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, let's see this replay real quick where Sang Kim just instantly just deletes.
Right here. Yeah, Lightning Stride.
I was talking and that happened, and you know, that was literally in an instant.
It was an instant. Lightning Stride. There's a lot of damage, supposedly.
Lightning Stride with the Bombard at the same time.
Okay.
So, you know, that makes sense.
Did a lot of damage
Yeah.
for sure.
And a lot of Korean players say Sang-ho Kim has probably one of the fastest fingers playing an assassin.
That's talent.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is.
fingers being fast. It's very much a talent needed in Blade and Soul, and does have that.
That may be one of the problems why Sang-ho Kim sometimes has that off day where, you know, his fast fingers press the wrong keys or press the keys in the wrong order.
Because it's so fast.
Yeah. But it is true, we are not making it up in the backstages. We do talk, like we said, we are bilingual, so we talk to the English players and the Korean players most of the time. And, you know, the Korean players actually commend Sang-ho Kim for having such a fast finger.
We're going to go to a short break.
Yep.
And be back with the last match of day 3 already.
Yeah.
We're going to have a short break. Be right back with the match you see here. Guardian versus Bad Intention to decide the last spot in the quarterfinals. We'll be right back.
call. I can hear your voices calling me from a distant place, but I don't know what to do. Heed the call. Do I play it safe and stay behind, knowing what I face? Please tell me what to do. Heed the call. Rise above it all. You must fly into the fire. Whoa, here I am, running towards my final destiny. Though it may seem too much to bear.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2017 Blade and Soul World Championships. Finally, on our last match already.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. And, you know, for the past couple days, we had such long days that today, you know, we still had 5 matches total. And it just seems so short.
So short. Because, like, we usually, when you watch us in Blade and Soul Korea, when we just do the Korean version of the broadcast without the World Championship being involved, this is our usual uptime. And this is our usual running time. And we got used to this. But for the past few days, when we did 8 hours and about 9 hours per day, now that feels normal, and this feels extremely short now. So getting us strong as casters that we are supposed to be.
What was that?
Very good. It's getting us strong, that muscular caster form. That is what we're trying to be, and Ojin is making us stronger by doing us do that.
So, and now we have Guardian versus Bad Intentions, NA versus EU.
That guy always likes to wave since he's on camera. So, hey mom, I'm on camera. So every time I've been watching that. So Guardian, the last match could be the last match of the tournament if they do lose at this one. They had to try to overcome ID if they couldn't get it done. Now they're back here in this Western Clash that we're gonna have very, very shortly.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about, you know, how Bad Intentions, yes, they do have some losses, but you know, they've never gone up against an NA team yet. However, Guardian, they were matched up with XD early on in the first day, and they lost to XD, which, you know, brought them down to the losers bracket for them to move back up after beating Nuzong Fan Club yesterday and making it into this spot. So what I want to talk about is, if Guardian loses to Bad Intentions, that means they lose to each EU teams and they end up getting eliminated because of an EU team.
EU is better than NA, is that what you're saying will happen?
No, if Guardian loses to them, it's just Guardian that lost to, they have 1 loss each from both the EU teams. So 1 loss already is there on paper from XD. And if they lose to Bad Intentions, they're going to have another loss from an EU team called Bad Intentions. So, but you know, Bad Intentions, they haven't played any EU NA team, so you know, they don't have any record of, oh, we already have 1 loss from an NA team, we have to try harder to not get a second. But Guardian, they kind of have that on their mentality, I'm pretty sure. They don't want 2 losses from EU and from a different team.
So you're not promoting to our viewers on Twitch chat that EU is better than NA?
Nope.
Despite the result?
Nope.
All right.
But after this, maybe I will. Maybe it's, you know, it may become a fact that you know, Guardian is, you know, unable to beat an EU team. But for now, it is not a fact yet.
Okay, so EU is better than NA. Isn't confirmed yet.
Yep.
Well, based on the results,
And I never said
change.
EU is better than
Okay.
NA. I said Guardian.
Okay.
Yeah, you're trying to shift my words.
Ah.
But yes, I am saying Guardian has already lost to XD in the first day, and now they are going up against Bad Intentions.
And we've been talking about EU and NA. The comparison is going to be strong, and it will be somewhat decided also by this match coming up. Game 1 between NA versus EU will come through. Stay on. No matter what you want to say, ending, these are the representation. Oh, Guardian representing Republic of Korea. That is what I just saw. So Ojin, well, really personally wants a Guardian to be a part of Korea now.
Yep, and this first match, Warlock versus Assassin. Let's see how this will play out. It is best out of 7, so they will have some time to strategize. But
Akini getting a lot of damage onto Ryuki. He even uses the Lotus to escape. Now he has no escape whatsoever.
One more Tether Blade. It might look pretty. It might look bad for Ryuki.
Very well could. He had put literally
he
0 damage onto Akini.
Body swap.
Puts a tickle onto Akini with that body swap onto the stun.
So another aerial. 2 seconds of the stealth comes back. Good thing that Ryuki does get his stealth back.
And now Ryuki goes for this aggression now onto Aikini.
All right, finally Aikini uses his second wind.
This is definitely the situation that's shifted now. Now Aikini has no escapes to get away from any threats that Ryuki can throw at him.
There we go. It is starting. He runs out of that mine
range. Will this be enough though? He does use the Lotus escape, but the Lotus was right there though.
Oh, he used it. Wow, but
the
he got
Lotus was there at the same damage area.
Yeah. Well, during the time he uses it, he is invulnerable during the animation, but it doesn't matter. He gets shackled again anyways.
He did have the stealth. He did have the stealth, so I was wondering if he just used the stealth to get out of there. So he used the Lotus escape, but he didn't escape. Just went to the Lotus.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Guardian takes the first win.
Yeah, and it's going to be NA 1 up against Europe in this representation by these teams.
So, you can see how much damage output a Warlock can do. Same thing goes for the Assassin, but this time around, Aikini was able to play the mind games and, get the victory after, even after Ryuki using that flower. It'll be shown right here.
Yep.
Yeah. Very unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
That feels bad, man, right there. You try to use an escape, but it doesn't help you escape, so it feels very bad.
It's literally an escape, but it's not an escape.
Escape towards the same amount of damage, so in the end, it's going to be NA Guardian side picking up 1 win. So currently, NA is better than EU in this compartment, and it's going to be Bad Intentions really trying to bring it out to get European pride back into play.
Did we just see Luki on the...
Is Luki coming out for singles once again, though?
Okay.
There he is. Going to beat the Bears on the Assassin versus the Blade Master of Luki. Luki has come on in few occasions of the singles. Sometimes he hasn't gone to his plan of what he was trying to do on the single stage. But at the same time, the Bears has also been disappointing for many occasions that he's been around. We expect a lot from him, but based on our expectations, it's not the way that we saw the Bears play throughout this World 2017. So, a lot of questions still up in the air for these two guys. Who's going to be the one to pick it up and answer the question fair and square and be the decider to see who gets the next point in this single?
Yeah, and Luki actually usually comes out in the 4th single. It's usually Ryuki and Tenna that comes out in the first 2 singles. However, this time around, Tenna takes a step back and lets Luki go out for the second singles against the Bear, and we will see if he will be able to tie it up 1-1 or if he loses and gives Guardian a 2-0 lead.
We're gonna move straight on to match. We're gonna go to the switchover screen, but not a change of music, so we're probably not ready to go in straight yet.
Yep.
We'll let you know. Our cue is always the music change that we barely get to hear, only for that one time. We got to the middle part of the music. That is a succession rate for us, so very much accomplishment that we like to feast upon. It seems like we're not advancing to the game quite yet. the Bears versus Luki will be an interesting thing because not only is it because NA and EU are involved in this matter, seems like Luki is the one discussing with the staff to see what conflict we're facing to get into this game, but he's staring at the keyboard.
I wanna move that piece of hair from his glasses for him.
We got a little bit of OCD right there.
It might get in his way.
Oh, you just worry about Luki there. I understand that EU is better than NA. Has been true ever since XD has defeated Guardian, but this is their second time where NA and EU have clashed. So far, 1-0 towards the NA side. Whether they can make it 2-0, make it more firm for NA to get that control. Let's find out. Stay on. Go. Once again, Republic of Korea, representations, Guardian. I told you, that's what they say.
Yep. Well, we'll have to see if, they may represent Korea.
Guardian is a Korean team now, guys. Get out of there, NA.
Yeah,
they're ours. But
alright, stealth is used right away on the Bear side.
It's going to be Luki really on the aggressive end here, forcing out the stealth away from the Bears. Really taking no damage in the trade of that, so very good first strike for Luki while just kind of waiting it out now, trying to look for a good opportunity. They're just hugging the wall at the moment. Starting to creep in a little bit. The Bears jumps up and makes a hut sound.
Yeah,
really doesn't do anything.
You don't have to say that. Like, they are just wall hugging right now. It's 5 seconds until stealth comes back in. I'm pretty sure they're used to, going up against each other. So they are just
goes up. Force out an escape quite yet, gets him onto the webbing. Another series of stun onto the poison breath, to the close shave. Bombard even being missed in there as well. Another series of bombard. Finally using the second win to get out of there, Luki.
Oh, and they're gonna do the jump again.
Told you, they like it.
They do one clash and then they go back.
Okay.
There we go. This is another one. Stealth is used.
Yeah, that forces out the stealth away from the Bears, but it really doesn't matter because the Bears is on the aggression end.
Oh, back roll chase.
Oh, the back roll really chase does come out, and the flock of blades has to be used, but really
done, and it is basically done for Luki.
Unless he can get up, but the webbing is going to secure a short stun, and a series of bombard and a hook kick to end it off.
It looks like the Bear really loves jumping.
And he likes making the sound.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't make the sound.
I thought he did.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, yes, the victory goes to the Bear. Guardian 2-0 lead.
NA 2-0 over
NA
Europe.
2-0. Yep. They don't want to lose to another EU team, I guess.
I mean, currently with XD having beat them in the past day, it has been about the European fans really boasting that EU greater than NA symbol meme. Have that, but so far 2-0 towards NA over EU at this position, and bad intentions. We always see them get eliminated because, like I said, losing out this specific match in this series will result in an elimination for this team. I mean, we're trying to kind of just joke around with the NA and EU comparison, but on all seriousness, both teams really need to step it up and really know that this is their last chance to stay in this World Championship and advance to the next round.
Exactly, and Luki, even though he did lose, if you remember yesterday's game, the last game, Luki seems to play better when he's in a pinch. And, he brought Bad Intentions to victory yesterday at the end. It was a great finale. And right now in this singles, it was kind of slow-paced. We were talking about how, the Bear was jumping and making the ha-ha sound. It was very slow-paced, and maybe that just, made Luki a little laid back, and he ended up losing. But now we are going to move to the tag match.
We talk about always the Guardian team having that quote-unquote Korean composition with the Destroyer, Assassin, and Warlock. It's something we're very used to seeing. Whereas the Blade Master coming from Luki kind of messes it all up for the side of Bad Intention, making it non-Korean, quote-unquote, as well. But it's going to be about Bad Intention having so much success in this recent few days, showing us so much surprises. Whether they'll do it again, we have to find out. But Game 3 all the more important for both of these teams. Guardian can either extend this over to a 4-0 lead. Maybe Bad Intentions pulling it right back. It's 2-2 even.
I love how you said Lukey messing it all up with the Blade Master composition, but you know, Lukey is very well known for Blade Master. He could play the Destroyer, but you know, I'd rather Lukey play his Blade Master and you know, show us a performance that he did yesterday, and it was amazing. And like I said, put Lukey in a pinch and he will go all out and go Super Saiyan mode, and it seems like we are getting ready.
You know that black hair that he has on Lukey, it didn't show on camera, but it literally went up in blonde hair when he went Super Saiyan mode the other day.
Yeah, I know.
They missed it. The cameraman, pity on OGN.
Yeah, pity on OGN. But you know, right now he's not in. He's just getting ready. They are getting warmed up because you know, 2 singles loss. They could take away this tag and make it even with just winning 1 set.
It's true, and we give a little bit extended instruction for these two
We may
teams.
hear the middle part of the song.
Will we get back to us, or will we have the end of the song? If this song ends by any chance,
yeah, I know. I never heard the end of this song.
That will be the first time throughout 2017 after this creation of the song. I mean, NCSoft went over to North America to have recordings of the song taken just for the Blade and Soul game, but unfortunately, we're not going to get to the end of the song, but we are going to get on to Game 3 between NA and EU. Guardian and Bad Intentions. Game 3 will be coming up. Stay on. So far, the case has been NA is greater than EU. EU salty. Whatever meme you want to put out, it is true for now, but Bad Intentions can change it all up with a win right here, getting it back right into even.
Yep, Tenna is out first against Vape. He has Tenna has skipped over the singles match, and Lukey went out in his place. But let's see if he's angry about that. You know, being down 2-0.
Vape was really all in on killing off the Familiar, which he does. So Tenna, without the Familiar, not feeling as safe as before. Brings out Lukey, trying to help him out, but I mean, Vape is just literally just trying to go all in offensively with that Destroyer.
Yep, they both. Tenna actually, not they both. Tenna uses his tab escape to leave the field because, you know, he took so much damage. And, you know, Guardian used 2 interfere points. Same thing goes for Bad Intentions. So, you know, the resource management is pretty similar, but Tenna comes in for the interfere, doing tons of damage to Vape.
Just feels like Tenna does more damage off the field than he does on the field with those interferes. Very, very scary thing for the opposition, but coming back out is the Bears, who did receive a victory in Game 2 in that single. So, and it was this guy who he got a victory against. It was Lukey.
Yep, and you know, you mentioned that Tenna does more damage off the field, and you know, that just shows how Tenna does not let an opportunity slip by, and he knows how to capitalize on it when his teammates, you know, create an opportunity for him to interfere in and do that burst damage.
Here we go, and Lukey is going to be one up.
Lukey and the Bear doing the same thing that they did in singles.
I mean, we've seen this guy pop off to the full extent one time in this entire World 2017, and that was good enough to get them right here.
Yep, and there we go again with the interferes coming in.
There you go. Vape trying to do some interfere damage off that onto Lukey, but Lukey having none of it, not even forcing out the tab escape from him. Resident Sleeper mode once again for these two sides.
Especially for Lukey, because he has 10 seconds left until that force tag out. So he is probably trying to tag out as safely as possible.
Stun does come out. He's going to use the second win, but doesn't really matter. He's going to get the force tag in, which is going to be free attack resource. And they're going to be lovely to have. So Tenna comes back out into play. And it's all about the Bears, whether he will be holding on for the next 20 seconds or will he go aggressive. Looks like Tenna is going to go on the aggression here. He might have to use a tag point right before.
Good defensive interfere by Vape. Iron plating that combo in half.
He could survive for the next 10 seconds, but wisely chooses to use that tag point voluntarily to bring out Aikini, make this a Warlock mirror match.
And Sanctimus comes down.
Okay,
on
the
Tenna's side.
familiar is wiped out from the side of Aikini for the damage that Tenna pulled out.
Yep,
That
and
was a lot of damage.
Tenna's familiar just, ran out of time.
Oh,
There-
and the
oh,
damage is starting to
another
go to
aerial.
Aikini. The Bears tried to disrupt him with that poison breath. He already took so much damage before he did. Now Vape is coming out with so little health.
Yeah, overall, right now, it looks a little bit more towards EU. Even though Vape is healing right now, the resource points, definitely EU has
Oh yeah,
a lot more compared to Guardian right now.
definitely that's true. And he's looking at Vape. He has done
Leech.
pretty well so far in this tournament. Continue on with this, we're going to find out. But Tenna has also been equally well, if not better. Going to be attacking out towards Ryuki for his first appearance in this tag match.
Yep. And he still does have 2 tag points, so, very abundant amount of resources for Bad Intention's side right now.
Iron plating is going to force out the landmine. Doesn't really pop. Fake just spinning around, really not
Pulling
much of
him
a deal
in.
unless he pulls him in like that.
Back roll
The
chase.
stun is coming out. The stealth is being used to escape from that. So other than that, we thought he was just going to spin around and waste time, but he had other plans in mind.
Well,
Pulling him
Ryuki
in.
definitely exchanged that stealth with the Gust, so
Yep, he did.
props to him.
He
There we
did.
go. He will make his move after planning that Lotus of Escape.
This is danger.
Body swap.
Ryuki makes things count, and landmine is not going to be popped, really.
Runs back into that Ember Stomp after that body swap happening.
So much shooting back on with that stone shield. And Vape is going to be really just going forward with this momentum.
Yeah, 10 seconds left until Vape is force tagged out. It seems like he wants to kind of play it safe.
Definitely, Vape has been doing everything
Yeah.
right against this assassin and has not really lost
2
much
seconds.
in terms of resources.
Force tag.
The force tag is going to be coming in. Chase
Oh,
will happen.
Yeah, and that stealth is used right off the bat.
So with that assassin mirror match bound to happen, already an advantage. It's game towards Ryuki. Working at that stealth right away, but
Shadow Slash.
you see there, Ryuki has also used his stealth in the midst of that. Oh, damage coming in from Tenna. Oh, it's going to be a lot of damage. It's
Tenna!
going to be good enough.
He does not
to
let that
knock
opportunity
out.
go.
Like you always mention, Ending, he uses all 3 interfere points already, but pretty sure all 3 were into great effect. Putting out the damage every time.
Wow. Well, Tenna knocking out the Bears is critical. The assassin of the team.
Once again, the Bears is the first man to be knocked off in this tag
Gets
match.
pulled in.
So, I don't know if it's just coincidence, but every time the Bears is the first man to be knocked off, it just happens like this. And just every other player in Guardian just falls apart. Piece by piece, and Vape might be up next. He does have tag point. Doesn't decide to use it. He still
Back
doesn't
roll
have
chase.
that tab escape, but I don't know why he's not tagging out. He just wants to be a little bit greedy.
Oh!
That will be another wasted effort.
Okay.
He didn't have the escape available, and he had plenty of time to tag out, but he was just going aggressively and really risking his life for just a little few damage that the Destroyer can pull out. Don't know if that was worth it.
Yeah, well, Aikini is the only one left. He has a tag point, but there's no more teammates to tag out to, so he has to try to do a 3v1 if he wants to get that 4-0 lead against Bad Intentions. There we go with the aerial.
Okay, this might be the beginning of it. Ryuki taking
Oh!
the damage even through that interfere.
Wow, he just ignores the
He doesn't
defensive
care.
interfere.
Luki tried to distract him, but I mean, all his eyes were really on Ryuki and nobody else, and did enough damage to finish him off in the end.
Yeah, and Tenna comes in on the field, try to punish Aikini for knocking
His
Ryuki
teammate
out.
up, yeah.
There we go, he is getting punished.
So much damage coming from Tenna single-handedly. That's
Alright.
going to be a surprisingly easy win, despite the fact that they did lose out in the first 2 singles. Bad Intentions do pick off 2 points to make it completely even. There you go, Guardian. The Bears giving his applause over to the side of Bad Intentions for such a good play. I don't know, he was the first man out and really went downhill from there, just like very similar to the tag match against IDEP. So, I don't know, the Bears really, maybe it's just a coincidence of events where it was just unfortunate that he couldn't tag out, but in certain situations, I felt like he could have tagged out in the times that where he died out first, and whenever you have a man down, it just brings the morality of your team so down.
Yep. Here is the part where Tenna comes in.
What do you think?
Does that
Yeah,
air
do you think he could have escaped there?
Well, when you're in the air, and he died in the air just now, so if he wanted to escape or tag out, he should have done it before Tenna interfered came in, because right when Tenna came in, he was in the air and the re-knockup from the Warlock, and it was a 2-to-1 burst damage. So yeah, it was already too late when he was in the air with Tenna outside with the interfere, but he had like 40% health, so he probably didn't think that he would have gotten deleted until it was already too late with Tenna's interfere.
I mean, but the second death, I don't even have to ask you that if you had an opportunity.
He definitely
did. He definitely had so much time. He just went for greedy, a trade with the Destroyer.
Yeah.
He forgets the fact that Destroyer does not deal damage, period.
Well, sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, most of the time.
Most
it's not,
of the time.
it's not likely. But anyways, now it is tied 2-2, and I just like I said, just win one tag, and winning 2 singles just ties it up.
Currently, NA is no longer better than EU at this moment. EU is no longer better than NA at this moment. Just excluding the fact that XD beat them. It's all about the present now.
Yeah.
It's going to be Vape versus Tenna. That's going to be a very, very tough matchup for the side of the Destroyer with Vape. And he has to somehow carve through tough barriers that really Tenna has with his Warlock, but all together, it'll be a very tough one. But to get NA back into this, you have to get a single point back with his next match coming up.
Yeah, and we have 2 more singles, including this 4th set and 5th set. So if they take 1 set each, it's tied, and we might be moving on to set 7, and the music has changed. We will be getting into set 4. Let's get it on.
After EU decided to knock off the Korean Team Guardian, with that,
Vape decides to go with the Fury build. Vape.
I don't want to watch anymore. I mean, it's a sorry ending. I mean, you can solo cast this
Really?
yourself. There's no point in me casting this. Vape is gonna lose against Tenna with the Fury build, and the succession rate, the win rate is still gonna stay at 0% with the Fury.
Yeah, and just for those of you who are viewing, Joel is not taking the side of Tenna. It's just the Fury build currently in the Worlds has a 0% win rate. So he is just referring to that, and that is actually a fact. And, let's see if Vape might give that, slight boost of that percentage. Get that Fury Destroyer percentage to at least, a couple percent. But
I told you.
The Dragon, but no Fury. And the Tab Escape is used by Tenna as well. And he will get his guts back.
Tenna's literally almost full health, and the Fury build, it's gonna die again.
No.
I don't know. I don't believe in this.
3 more seconds for Fury. If he lives.
Fury
proc the Fury!
Fury build wins! And this is the first win for the Fury Destroyer! I didn't want to believe it! It happened! This is the bigger than the World Championship first place championship victory! The Fury build Destroyer won a game!
Wow. Alright, Vape. You are allowed to use the Fury. Wow, that was amazing. The first Fury build Destroyer victory in all of Worlds. And, in the beginning, Joel was saying that, he doesn't even want to watch, and he was, being sarcastic because on paper, literally all the Destroyers, not only Vape, all of the Destroyers that brought out the Fury has always 100% lost. And this is the first time ever in Worlds 2017 that a Fury Destroyer actually won a singles.
Through 3 days ending.
Yeah.
And it's not even a small sample size that we're talking about. We had about 7 to 8 Fury build attempts come from Destroyers all over the world from different regions.
And they've all tried the Fury build
None of them has succeeded. None of them even came close to succeeding, to be honest.
Yeah.
Vape, you can play the Fury build. I wouldn't be mad at you for now.
Well, 3-2 for NA.
And you know what also that speculates? EU was the first team to lose to a Fury Destroyer.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, Aikini versus Ryuki for our 5th match. And if Bad Intentions take this singles, we will skip set 6 and go straight to the set 7.
That's true.
Yeah. But if Guardian wins, it will be 4-2, and set 6 may be potentially the last match.
Currently 3-2 is a very close scoreline with these two teams, but as you mentioned, ending, one more win by the European side will get us even at 3-3, and we'll skip over game 6 and go on to game 7.
Yeah. Well, that Fury victory got me excited because finally on paper we can say we can get rid of that 0. No, it's probably more than a 1%, but
it's a 1 sample size win for the very successful Fate, but it's now going to be Aikini to whether they can extend that scoreline. We're going to be finding out. You know. Republic of Korea, Guardian. That's the reason why they were able to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not even considering changing that.
They don't even realize that.
Wow.
I mean, we can't tell them. We don't have a voiceover to the producer, so we would like to tell them that that literally Republic of Korea has bought out the entire organization, Guardian, but we can't tell them. So they're sticking with it.
Well, Aikini is now using the time distortion because he was out of both escapes. Ryuki is actually doing a number on him, forcing that time distortion out already.
Ryuki really wants to make this a 3-3 situation where they can just skip over game 6 and go right on to game 7 for one last tag match to end the day.
Yeah, we'll see if he is able to make that happen. There we go, Lotus of Escape is planted, so he is a little comfortable, but the Sanctum is also put down.
Okay, this is going to be Ryuki really trying to go for the numbers here, but Warlock of Aikini really just poking him from behind.
10 seconds left until he gets his stealth back. I'm pretty sure he's going to wait for that. Plants the flower. There we go. He's going to make his move. So, knocked down.
Oh, and the stun coming in from Ryuki now. That's got to be enough damage. He has no second wind left available. Finally, he uses it.
Yeah, one more CC.
One more stun will be out. Poison Breath is going to be going through.
All right, very close right now, very close.
Still has 23 seconds left on that. Both of those escaped. So Ryuki, knowing this, he should go in aggressively.
Oh, the stun lands,
this might
and
be
it
good
is
enough.
over for
And
Aikini.
it will be over, and it's going to be a 3v3 situation. In terms of scoreline between these two teams, and NA and EU are completely equal as we move right on to the final set. Tag match to decide it all. Who will get eliminated and which region is better is going to be the biggest question.
Yeah, I just remembered usually when you say something it becomes true, but when you talked about that Fury build not being able to win, that actually was the first time that your prediction
it's true
about this didn't come true.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this let's look at the replay.
I mean,
they were in the beginning, they were trading off their escapes, and you know the health bar seemed pretty even until the end, where Ryuki just went all out, forced Aikini to use his body swap and his second win, and then landed one more CC to finish him off very comfortably.
But definitely Aikini got the better part of the first parts of this match because of that poking you can do to the assassin, but really the assassin only needs one opportunity to get that crucial stun when you are out of all your escapes. That health bar really means nothing when the assassin can pull up a full combo against you, make you die in an instant.
Yeah, and now no more potentially the last game. This will be the last game because it is 3-3, tied up right now. It says set 6, but it's supposed to say set 7, which is worth 3 points. And whoever wins this secures a spot for the quarterfinals, and whoever loses this is knocked out or eliminated from 2017 World Championship.
And this match will also decide whether EU or NA are the better region going forward. I mean, XD has shown a little bit of implication on that, showing a victory over the Guardian side. And the EU fans were boasting all day long. But after that, might be Guardian's chance to redeem that after themselves if they do beat out Bad Intentions in this last tag match. NA is greater than EU. Can be fairly said among anyone who wants to boast that.
Yeah, well, this will actually, make the Twitch chat go crazy because this is, like I said, the last match of the day and the last match of the group finals, and we will move on starting tomorrow to the quarterfinals.
Talk about patterns. It's always been about bad intentions, closing it off from day 1 and day 2, and here they are once again, day 3, closing it off with the last match of the day. Let's get into NA versus EU last match. Let's get on. Ever so important match for both regions is now beginning. And now we have Aikini for the side of Guardian. We have Tenna for the side of Bad Intentions.
Well, Tenna had to use his second win first.
Yep. But I doubt he's going to step back away from this challenge. He's still going to go in aggressively.
Yep, 2 sanctums are put down, the interferes come in. Reactionary 2v2, and both of the time distortions are used as well.
Okay, now we saw Aikini really going for Tenna, while Tenna went for the familiar instead. That's the difference in targeting here. So much damage coming in.
Taking enough damage, but that iron plating saves and cuts off that combo.
Yeah, definitely that interfere was needed to save his teammate. Go for the second aerial. Seems like
Oh, Tenna is taking damage. He is running away right now.
We haven't seen Tenna running away for a long time.
No.
Hey, Tenna needs to tag. I think just with everything aside, there you go. And
Smart
Ryuki
decision.
comes back onto the play, but Tenna actually losing out in a 1-to-1 bout in a tag environment. Probably the first time in a very long time we've seen.
Yeah, and Ryuki coming in, and he had to use his stealth right away. Aikini is doing work right now against this bad intentions.
Yeah, I should say that the assassin of Ryuki putting out the damage onto Aikini.
Yeah, he's still comfortably out there. There we go. Finally, second win is used for Aikini and tags out. Assassin mirror match.
Okay, so 1 tag point being used by both teams. These early stages.
Alright, knockdown. Dodges that. Landmine proc. Stealth is used.
So started off with a Warlock mirror match. Now we're on to an Assassin mirror match with the Bears versus Ryuki for NA and EU. Last match of day 3.
Right, Ryuki uses stealth. The defensive interfere comes in for the time distortion from Tenna.
So no damage interfered there for Tenna. Probably the first of many.
Yeah, I haven't seen him come in literally just for time distortion in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe this might be the first time, but now Ryuki getting that escape back confidently, going on the offensive.
Very unique combo there.
That
That really caught the Bears off guard. Tries to use a poison breath out of there, but might need to tag out anytime soon. He does have the tap escape available, but it's in a very dangerously low situation in regards to HP.
Yeah, he is. He healed up a little bit, but still.
Oh
no.
Down. Ryuki trying to knock him down, but the poison breath is going to be going towards the other end. Ryuki's going to be force tagged in.
Yep.
He has to watch the timer.
Oh,
perfect. Beautiful.
But
the
interfere comes in and gets the chase.
Very good by Vape to get that done. Doesn't force that escape quite yet, but
wow,
still very good. I've used that interfere, even though his ally was webbed up into the air and not being able to do anything. That was a first chase.
Yeah, that was a very good interfere to actually counter that web and then go for the chase.
Yeah, it did work out. Did not force out any escapes. Using the Flock of Blades now, Luki. But other than that, tap escape still is an
Force tag
availability.
about to happen. No chase.
No chase coming in from Luki.
A free force tag in for Aikini.
Aikini really did well for the first parts of the game, even beating up Tenna in the first confrontment. We saw in the beginning of this match. Now Aikini starting his damage once again, but I mean, Luki is not really worried about Aikini at all. He just went for the familiar and just killed it off right away.
Into the area, Luki.
Okay, this might be the chance for Tenna. Tenna is going to come in for the interfere, but the iron plating very well done by Vape to negate that damage coming from the interfere from Tenna. Trying to do so much damage off of the aerial. Luki was able to pull off.
Yep, and now Tenna is on the field once again with Aikini, a mirror match that Tenna had to tag out first.
Yeah, so Tenna lost.
At the beginning. He didn't lose, he had to tag out first, yeah. don't say he lost. He
I
hasn't
mean,
lost yet.
just a match because we were just building up to the
No.
final moments of the
Okay.
game, but it just turned
Oh!
to 1-to-1 matchup. He's gonna change it all now.
Yep.
Use a lot of damage onto Vape though.
All right, Tenna actually doing work
Oh,
now.
so much more.
Oh!
There's no more interfere that can come in, and that will not save Vape. And even though that interfere was there, it probably was on cooldown.
Tenna
Not really
heard you.
available.
He's like, I didn't lose yet.
Hey man,
He is coming back.
I was just speaking the truth, and
Yeah.
Tenna really didn't like
Yeah.
where the truth stood. Really wanted to win that time around. Now,
Yeah.
one man down. This is a huge lead over to Bad Intentions.
And let me say, Vape has 2 tag points.
There you go.
Anyways, let's continue. Oh yeah, Tenna coming in, never missing out on that opportunity, and that aerial damage is just insane from Tenna's Warlock.
And Ryuki is back out on the field for another mirror match between the Bears. Ryuki doesn't have the stealth available. Just be careful if the Bears does come with a strike. There you go, another stun, forcing him to use a Lotus Escape. Get out of there.
Yeah, Guardian has to try hard. They are the last NA team left. Hurricane has already been eliminated.
It's true, and if Bad Intentions do win out this one, it will just be 2 European teams up in the quarterfinal with no NA teams left in the tournament.
Yep, and the Bear is trying to do work against Ryuki right now, and he does have a little bit more health.
Yeah, Ryuki is going to be pretty comfortable.
Oh!
Wow, that was an instant
Bear
knockout!
Knocks out Ryuki.
I thought he
Wow.
had enough health bars to stay on there,
No,
but
no,
that was
no.
a lot of damage
And let me
coming
say-
in from the Bears right there. So,
Wow.
very significant of the Bears to really do that because he hasn't been performing throughout this World 2017, but when it's the moment that was the most crucial, he gets the job done and knocks the first man out
And
for Bad
Ryuki,
Intentions.
2 tag and 1 interfere.
Yep.
That is not good. That is not good. That goes to waste.
So pretty much even now, no resource point in terms of Bad Intentions. Now 1 interfere and 1 tag point left for the Bears.
Oh,
but is
they're
this
just
gonna
going all
help?
at it.
Tenna, so much Sanctum and time distortion going on. The graphics are crazy. We don't know what's going on, but damage chart will tell us that Tenna did a little more damage than Icony did on the interaction.
All right, now Tenna is the only one with his familiar out. Might want to make his last move before it goes away. Now it is gone away.
After that interaction, both sides taking a break. See what the best opportunity might be. Icony summons his familiar first. Tenna is still yet to summon his.
All right.
Taking a lot of damage. He
Here
has
comes
no
in.
tag point.
Tenna is
He has
knocked
no
out.
tag point.
Oh,
And Tenna
no.
is knocked out. It has to be Luki to pull off the miracle once again. Unless he can do that. Now he's on to the Super Saiyan mode. Trying to do this for his team.
Oh,
and that's
no.
going to knock off. Icony has almost been knocked up, but somehow escaped from that.
He is sticking with him, and now
Luki did this
Wow.
last time. Luki did this yesterday. He wants
going
to
in.
do it again.
Tab Escape is out now. One more bad CC from Luki. I mean, good CC from Luki.
Okay,
Icony
interfere,
might-
coming
oh,
for the
no,
Warlord. Will
interfere.
this be the end?
Okay.
And he does second
Tab
win
escape
out of
out.
there. Tab escape is available, so it's very close now.
All right, no
Force
more
tag.
interfere. Force tag is
will be
coming up.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Warlock going down. Luki has
Oh,
to be
no.
careful. He has no teammate backup. He's going to be on to the Assassin. Now this is the Bears.
Oh,
really being to finish him up. And
no.
this will be North America advancing to the quarterfinals with Bad Intentions eliminated from the tournament. And World 2017 will see the end for these guys.
Wow. Wow. Congrats to Guardian. And we see Bad Intentions, they look disappointed. And, you know, throughout this whole
understandable.
tournament, Bad Intentions and Guardian, they have both shown us crazy plays, but especially Bad Intentions yesterday and the day before, doing those clutch victories on the last set of the last match
Yeah.
was amazing. And they've worked their way up here, but in the end, Guardian takes the victory 6-3.
They have to overcome so many hurdles to get here, Bad Intentions. Like you say, the last match are usually due to the losing some of the first earlier matches and getting to the later stages where you had to win one more match just to survive to the next day.
Yeah.
And Bad Intentions were in that state from day 1 to day 2, and miraculously they pull off these amazing victories that were so unexpected, each staying out to make it to day 3 today. But in that state, once again, the last match of the day, they have to go against none other than their NA counterparts, and Really, Guardian find what it took. And most importantly, it was the Bears killing off Tenna. The second man down was a crucial moment in this game.
Yeah, well, Guardian successfully kept the NA pride, keeping at least one NA team in this Worlds.
Yep.
Same goes for EU, even though unfortunately for bad intentions from EU got knocked out.
There we go.
They still do have XD up there for the EU representing. So one EU and
North
one
America
NA.
represent right there. You see them posting their signs up.
Yep.
And just really about. And you know what the interesting thing is ending is that both the qualified teams from NA and EU, they were the second seeds, and the first seeds from each region from NA and EU, they were eliminated. So it's about the underdogs pulling off the big efforts.
Yeah.
Now they're on to the next round of World 2017.
Yep, and this is the results of today. Guardian win, items win, and at the end, oh, this is the first set. Okay, the best out of 4 results, and we will be showing you the best out of 7s right about a little bit later.
But you know,
yeah.
you see how many matches Bad Intentions had to play to just get to the stage. They had to play so many matches, and they really had to go through that. The fatigue they had to overcome. They were so close of winning out against Guardian. They only had one match to do it, but it's just all in all, it was all clutch play coming in from the side of Guardian. Those 3 players really had what it took to finish it off and get the job done. And man, now they're on to the next stage in the World 2017.
Yeah, congrats. And this is the next matchup for Saturday, which is tomorrow, 10 a.m. KST. So we're starting pretty early tomorrow and full day. We have a full day of Blade and Soul. On screen, we start with the best out of 4. We have once again Group A and Group B, and finally we get to see GC Busan Red and GC and Sky from China, who has been waiting for 3 days for tomorrow.
They've been waiting for a long time,
Yeah, they did.
So through those 3 days, we're finally done with the group stage, and we're finally ready to move right on to the quarterfinals. So, ending. Good job of casting for 3 days, and
Same goes for you.
We thank you, the viewers, for sticking with us for this long group stage that we had for 3 days. And starting tomorrow, it will definitely get to the crunch time. You're going to be seeing how this quarterfinal will work out. You saw the early matches.
Yeah.
It's going to be the losers matches will be happening after those each groups play out from this quarterfinals. We'll also get the winners match going as well. So
yeah, we basically tomorrow is just gonna be a bigger or larger double elimination. As you see on the screen, we will have the best out of 4s early on in the at 10 a.m. KST, and then we'll go with the winners match and the losers match, and then we'll do the double elimination to decide who will go to the semifinals.
I mean, everything from the quarterfinals will be decided tomorrow in one single day, and the next day we'll go on straight on to the semifinals. So it's going to be a long day that you guys have. If you want a lot of Blade and Soul action, you'll definitely get it tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have at least 6 best out of 4s and 4 best out of 7s, if I calculated correctly.
Yeah,
but either way, we have a full day of Blade and Soul tomorrow.
So many games. So if you're never tired of watching Blade and Soul, you're in for the right action, as tomorrow will be the longest day of Worlds 2017. Thank you for joining with us. This is Joel Stovey along with Andy Like. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 Korean Standard Time for more Blade and Soul action quarterfinals. We'll see you then.
you have.